Here we live.
Peace and blessings, y'all. Welcome to the GOAT James Kingdom Show with B. Lee and A. Johnny. As you guys know, we come live every Sunday noon to talk basketball and the greatest players to play the game. One in particular, the GOAT of basketball, LeBron, Ramon, James, or King James, or what we like to call him as GOAT James. Thank you for joining our platform. We are the GOAT James Kingdom platform right here on YouTube. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't be afraid to become a member of the GOAT James Kingdom platform as we're going to continue to build a growing community of LeBron James fans who know how to talk basketball to battle all of these other fools who think they know how to talk basketball just so that they can hate on LeBron James. So Brandon and I are here again on another Sunday afternoon. We want to thank you for showing up. Today's topic, we're going to discuss Michael Jordan being considered an overrated defender because of Rasheed Wallace's words recently on his podcast. Now, we know anybody who says anything about Michael Jordan in the light of Michael Jordan fans not liking it, it will cause controversy. It will sting them. They will rally up and they will get everybody ready with the pitchforks and the what are the little torches to burn down. Rasheed Wallace is definitely now on their target. He's the number one guy this week because of it. So we're going to discuss that because that's what we discussed here at GOAT James Kingdom. We talk the GOAT debate, and the GOAT debate is very important because a lot of people love to praise Michael Jordan's defense, and we're going to really see how great of a defender was Michael Jordan. So shout out to Craig for just joining us here. What up, Craig?
Oh,
What's good? What's good? Brandon's here. Peace, Brandon.
Yeah, what's good, everybody?
All right, so we got everybody in the comments already. We can see y'all, man. Shout out to everybody in the comments. Y'all make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to share the content. Let everybody know GOAT James Kingdom is live. It will be an open panel for everybody shortly. We'll put up the link for anybody who wants to join the show. We're also going to discuss later on the 65 game minimum for the players. As we all know, we're coming around All-Star week next week, and it's about time to start talking MVP talk and all these things. And there's some players that are not going to be eligible for certain awards this year because of games played. So we're going to discuss that, and we're going to definitely get into that topic. So, Brandon, let's get right into it, man. We're GOAT James Kingdom. They said we went running with the Rasheed Wallace thing. They think that we're just hating on Michael Jordan. Is it really hate to say Michael Jordan is an overrated defender?
I would say he's an overrated defender. I would just say he's not as great of a defender as they make it seem to be. They
I think
make it
that's
seem to be like
the eye
Jordan would shut
test or
down
the
everybody.
is that
that's
eye test? The numbers will tell you that because
well. From Rasheed Wallace, it's his eye test.
okay, so the eye test trumps the numbers. That's all I want to know before we get started because the numbers
Yes,
say
for Michael
otherwise.
Jordan fans,
The numbers.
it does. The Michael Jordan fans,
Okay,
it
then
does.
so we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it across the board.
Well,
Then numbers don't
hold up,
determine
Craig. Hold up,
anything.
Craig. Come
It's
on
all
now,
about the
Craig.
eye test. I just want to make sure because
You,
soon as the numbers, now y'all want to go to what he's seen.
That,
But
that's
y'all
how.
defend with numbers, but y'all want to defend with what you see now. Okay.
I
Who said?
mean, I have shown
Who said what
multiple
we
Well,
times
how?
seen?
what
Oh,
LeBron.
wait. Why is it what
Go
we
ahead.
seen? Oh, wait. Why is it what we seen? We just telling you what Rasheed Wallace eye test told you.
And
You're gonna get Brandon as our eye test very shortly. But that's what Rasheed said. That's what Rasheed said. That's not on us. How that fall on
I,
us?
we put up the numbers all the time with LeBron James, and what y'all say?
what do you mean what we say? I
Stat
don't say.
padding. Numbers
I
don't
never
mean
called him an
numbers ain't
overrated
everything.
defender. You ain't never
LeBron's
hear me once
overrated
say
everything.
LeBron was an overrated defender or anything bad about him defending defensive wise. You ain't never hear me say anything about LeBron being a bad defensive player.
Okay. So would you rate LeBron as like a top 15 defensive player of all time, or would you put Jordan in that ranking?
You
Do
mean
you
top
think
50?
both of them? Yeah, like a top defensive player of all time.
Well, you could say, well, it's a dig. You based on numbers, yes, you could put LeBron in the top 15 defenders of all time. If you
Okay.
based on numbers, yes.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
that makes sense. I think Michael Jordan's a top 10 defender of all time, but I don't think he would shut down the players that they think he'll shut down. You know, I Rasheed, while I know they like to say you have to listen to NBA players. NBA players don't say this, they don't say that. But as soon as the NBA player says something, it's different.
And it goes both ways. It goes both ways. I literally had a whole show about players saying something good about Jordan, so I don't even want to hear it. It goes
I know.
totally both ways.
I know. So you're basically saying Michael Jordan was not overrated as a defender because of his numbers. Back it up.
I wouldn't say overrated. I mean, who? I would say this: he was a great defender for him to be what he was considered as an offensive player. And you ain't never see an offensive player with his style of defense.
And what style of defense is that? Because I'm still confused.
Well,
What's that supposed to mean?
just playing defenses, period, are like him. You ain't never see someone who can score as well as defend like him.
I seen someone do it better. LeBron James.
So you see someone do it longer. You ain't seen no one do it better.
No, LeBron James did it better.
He did it longer. He didn't.
In Miami, LeBron James is probably the greatest defender we ever seen. He could do everything.
We need
Guard
Travis.
everybody.
We need Travis in the building. Craig's by himself today. We need.
I mean, Jordan couldn't do the things LeBron James could do on the floor defensively. LeBron James could do everything Jordan could do.
Jordan can do on the floor.
Like what? What LeBron James couldn't do that Jordan couldn't do defensively?
What do you mean? I can tell you, he can steal the most steals out of everybody in the league defensively. He can have the most steals in the league defensively. He can have 200 blocks and 100 steals in the same season defensively.
So that's the amount of steals, not the fact that he can't steal. It's not ability. We're talking about actual production.
I just said he outstealed everyone in the league at one point.
I got you, but I'm just saying that's based on the production, right? Because LeBron could also get steals.
That's why I said LeBron did it longer. He didn't do it better. See the difference?
No, well, Jordan just did it better for what, 2 years, 3 years?
Hey, that's better than 2 years, right?
And that's only in steals. But that's only in steals. That's what I'm saying. That's only stealing the ball.
But that's defense. That's part of defense. Yeah, see, now you want to put his defense.
No, I'm just saying that's just one aspect.
But you're saying that no one has done what Jordan done, and that's just not true. They're just not stats for Wilt Chamberlain. So we just can't go around saying like Jordan did something impossible.
Okay, so now
I mean, Hakeem Olajuwon. Okay, we want to talk about Michael Jordan.
Hakeem did it, and
we want to talk about
how many
Michael
times
Jordan.
They did it more than once, or it was a one-time thing for them? It was recurring for Jordan.
Jordan did it twice.
Hold up. You're saying the 100 blocks and 200 steals are like this thing that
I'm just saying. You just asked me what Jordan did.
I mean, Hakeem Olajuwon had 200 steals and 200 blocks.
And I told you,
which is better. Hakeem had 200 steals and 200 blocks.
Don't ask the question and don't like the answer. I gave you an answer. You said what Jordan did defensively, LeBron did, and I told you. If you don't like the answer, don't ask the question.
But that's not physically doing something.
It don't matter. He asked me a question, I answered.
We were talking about ability, not stats.
Is that not ability?
Defensively, LeBron has done things more defensively than Jordan has done. Look at what LeBron did for his career. LeBron has NBA records for careers.
I find it funny that when Jordan has the stats to trump LeBron, that's what we want to start talking stats.
He just asked me what Jordan did.
No, what Jordan could do
that LeBron could not do.
And I told you what
stat.
He did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You brought up a stat.
I said he stole the ball more times than everybody in the league.
That's a stat. You brought up a stat.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. All right. So Craig, are you saying that
y'all going over someone's eye test for why he's overrated?
Again, we're gonna tell you. We're gonna tell you Jordan's eye test shortly. We're not gonna tell. That's Rasheed Wallace. We're gonna give you our eye test shortly.
Okay. So Craig, you're saying statistically, who has done more defensively, LeBron or Jordan?
I said LeBron did it longer. Jordan did it better.
Statistically, who did it better, LeBron or Jordan?
That's my answer. LeBron did it longer. Statistically,
you don't want to answer the question because you know the answer, right? Statistically, it's LeBron James. Statistically, it's LeBron James.
Jordan averaged more.
Statistically, it's LeBron James.
Jordan averaged more steals, and they averaged the same amount of blocks. So he did it longer.
I don't know how this helps us understand how overrated Jordan is as a defender. Why does every time we talk about Jordan, we have to compare him to LeBron?
Yeah, he just asked what LeBron did that Jordan didn't do and vice versa. He brought LeBron up. I had nothing to say about LeBron.
Yeah, no, because the whole conversation is that Michael Jordan is considered an overrated defender by someone who watched Michael Jordan play, someone who got scouting reports on Michael Jordan, someone that these are the things that we've been hearing that we should actually take into consideration. So that's why we're trying to talk about it today, because these are the things that are being said. We already know statistically LeBron's more dominant. We don't have to prove it. We've been proved it. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Jordan. We're talking about Jordan. We're talking about the eye test. We're talking about what people physically seen with Michael Jordan on defense. Because Jordan steals doesn't make him a top 5 defender of all time.
But who said anything about being a top 5 defender of all time?
That's where he's rated. So that means if he's not a top 5 defender, that means he's overrated.
And what makes you a top 5 defender?
That's what we want Jordan fans to tell us. They're the ones who got him in the top 5.
But what? Okay, so you're saying we talking about what someone said off the eye test, but now it's what the Jordan fans ranked him.
Oh no, because
now Jordan fans' opinions matter that importantly that supersedes someone's eye test.
No, because they're the ones who's upset at Rasheed. I thought Rasheed Wallace was cool with everybody. All of a sudden now Rasheed Wallace is a hater. And we got over 70,000 views on our IG, and they're eating him alive. And that's on our IG. I can just imagine what's happening on other platforms that are larger than us in IG. They're killing this guy. This guy's getting destroyed on the internet. He's on the level of Gilbert Arenas now. He's famous.
Just
Jordan
like
fan famous.
NBA players that was praising Jordan. Y'all was calling him, they love him. They can't seem to stop the nostalgia of Jordan. They living in the past. Now someone talk about negative. Now it's a good thing.
Well, it's not that somebody's talking negative. He just made a simple comment. He really just gave his opinion. He just said that Jordan's not that good of a defender. That's all he said. He didn't say nothing else. He didn't really elaborate. He just said, listen, Jordan's not that good of a defender from what I can see. I've seen plenty of people rock him or bust his ass. That's his exact words. And then the guy brought up the 9 all defensive selections. And he was like, he shrugged that. He said they gave those to Jordan. Jordan just got that because of the NBA.
These are the same awards that the players are crying because they gotta play 65 to win. Now all of a sudden they mean
boom.
Them.
No, yeah, because you know why? We're gonna talk about that soon too. They doing the players dirty with that, but we're gonna talk about that later.
Not.
But, all right,
if you hurt, don't worry about an award. Worry about getting healthy.
All right, so this is basically statistically LeBron versus Jordan defensively. That's why I'm saying LeBron's a
and like I said, he did it better. Longer. Jordan did it better.
He did it better.
Comparing a 15-year career to a
How did Jordan do it better? How did Jordan do it better when he's statistically inferior?
Because like I said, LeBron did it longer. You're comparing a 15-year season.
We got averages here too.
So
we got averages and everything. We got averages and total.
Yes, and that's sad. That's why I said he averaged more steals. They averaged the same amount of blocks. That's why I said he did it better, and LeBron did it longer. It's not a shot at LeBron.
Jordan only averaged more. Well, in the postseason, LeBron averaged more blocks.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand.
Come on, guys. You know what matters, guys. Come on, guys. The finals, the playoffs matter, guys.
The one thing I've noticed in this comparison between Jordan and LeBron, and let's add Kobe in this conversation, I've seen stats with who's better, Kobe or Jordan. I've never heard Kobe played longer. But anytime you bring LeBron into a conversation with Jordan, well, LeBron did it longer. Why? Let's just talk about what you saw. Why is Kobe played 20 seasons not longer? And LeBron played 21 seasons is longer.
Yeah, because they used the eye test, but now we can't use the eye test. We're trying to use the eye test today.
Not using the eye test. Y'all going off on the man eye test.
Yes, we want to use the eye test today.
That he's right. That he's overrated.
Yeah,
eye test.
Yeah, because we want to use the eye test today. We really don't want to talk about.
Use the eye test.
I believe the eye test is a good comparison because it's always been used against LeBron because Jordan looked better doing it. Right? It's always been the thing. Jordan looked better doing it. Now we're actually going along with the narrative. Let's look at the eye test. Now let's look at who got more steals. Let's look at stats now.
The eye test has always been a part of defense. That's why Dennis Rodman is one of the greatest defenders of all time. There's no stats that say that. There's no stats.
Now eye test only works for defense. Okay.
No, I know. I'm just saying defense. I'm just saying.
I mean, you really can't judge defense off stats.
You're in MJ mode. Listen to what I said. That defensively, most people just base it off of the eye test. That's what people usually do for defense because people like Kobe Bryant and people like Dennis Rodman are considered great defenders, but no stats say that.
Correct.
And players who actually have good stats defensively, people won't consider them great defenders, like Chris Paul or someone like Dwayne Wade.
I mean, Chris
because
Paul
of the eye test.
Chris, what do you mean, Chris? No one said Chris Paul wasn't a good defender. They
No,
call
Chris
him
Paul
a
is
cheat.
no. Chris Paul is a great defender. No, Chris Paul is a great defender. He is an elite defender. Elite. His stats say that. Jason Kidd's stats say he's an elite defender.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna sit here and say that those are elite defenders. No one's gonna put them in the top 10 greatest defenders of all time, and that's what they are. Their stats tell you that they're better than Dennis Rodman on defense. But people are going to tell you Dennis Rodman off eye test is the greatest defender they ever seen.
Yeah, because
in their
he
life.
played on the Bulls, and for some reason, anyone that plays with Jordan, they get magnified to whatever they was good at. They get magnified tenfold. Because I guarantee you, if he never played for the Bulls, he would have never been considered a great defender.
What? He was the great defender in Detroit. What are you talking about?
No, I'm just saying he wouldn't get that. So. He get the magnitude that he gets now because everybody magnifies what anybody did that played with Jordan.
He was washed up. Craig, he was washed up in Chicago, from what I hear.
I know he was traded. Nobody wanted Dennis Rodman before he got to the Bulls. He was traded.
Who are the top 5 defenders in the 90s?
I would say Gary Payton.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hakeem.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I would put Mutombo.
Mutombo, okay.
It was a big man league, so you're going to get powerful.
Two more.
Craig,
two more.
Say Scotty.
In the 90s.
Craig, you're doing a bad job for a Jordan fan. They're upset with you in the comments. You should know these.
Yeah, your first name should have been Scotty.
You didn't say Scotty. You didn't say Michael. You didn't say Dennis Rodman.
What are you talking about? You asked me to defenders of the 90s.
Yeah. I know.
We all naming 90s
that's
players.
That's 3.
That's 90s players.
Okay, that's 3.
You got 3. 2 more.
I know, but you keep talking, asking me.
I'm sorry.
All right, Johnny, stop interrupting him.
I'm sorry.
Stop interrupting him. He's concentrating. It's been a while.
I said Peyton. I said Mutombo. I said Hakeem. And I would put Pippen and Jordan in there.
Pippen and Jordan, so not Rodman. Okay, so Rodman is not one of the top 5. Okay.
When did you ever hear me say anything about how Rodman was a good defender? I say he was a rebounder. That's all he did was rebound and antagonize people. That's not defense. You never hear me say Rodman was the great top 10. I'm surprised about him, the rebounder.
Rodman guarded Magic Johnson
because he got 7 rebounding titles.
Rodman guarded Magic Johnson. Rodman guarded Shaquille O'Neal. Tell me how many defenders in history could do that.
And what was their stats against him?
I don't worry about stats.
Oh, so now it don't matter.
How effective were you when you guarded them? And that's what Johnny.
It don't matter now.
Eye test.
Yeah, we're not talking about stats. Stats, what are those?
It's when you watch him guard him.
We don't talk stats.
How effective was he when he guarded him?
Well,
we don't talk.
Rodman actually guarded Jordan as well, and he guarded Shaq. I mean, he guarded wings and bigs. It was very effective doing both.
All right, Craig, let me ask you this, Craig. Does Michael Jordan's stats say he's the best top 5 defender of the 90s?
Yeah.
You got to go by what he did in the 90s.
Yeah.
I can't.
He has one steals title. Hold on, he has 1 steals title and 7 all defensive teams. Yeah, 7 all defensive teams.
Are you sure it's not 6? Didn't he get 3 in the 80s? 88, 89.
89.
88, 89.
88, 89.
Yeah, I know y'all don't like to count 90, but 90 counts. He choked, but it's fine.
No, I'm talking about the defensive selection. I wasn't talking about what he did as far as the team accomplishments.
I know, but usually y'all start with 91. So I usually forget about 90 in the 90s.
I tell you, he was at his peak defensively when he was younger. In the 90s, of course, you're not going to be the elite. You can't be an elite defender for your whole career. He did his job. He still, he still had the 2 steals. At least give you 2 steals a game. His offense was so good that people overrate his defense. That's what I say.
He's going to get you 2 steals, yeah. Okay.
He's going to get you 2 steals.
Yeah, he definitely was. So this is like what most people think Jordan's best defensive years was he averaged 2.7 steals a game and a block a game. But it's kind of easy to do that versus players who didn't really have those skills at the moment.
So he's overrated because his competition. Gotcha.
No, this is who he's playing against. This is who he's playing against.
Because y'all don't believe the shit that
I'm not down. I'm just listening to who he played against.
Richmond is the best player on that list to me.
You got Clyde Drexler too, even though he
only can go right.
Buckets.
Drexler couldn't go left.
All right, so technically between 84 season and the 1988 season, there was only 23 teams. So he only had to see 22 guards. And then it finally expanded. Most of these guys, Hersey Hawkins, oh my God.
Danny Ainge,
these are shooting guards. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Why if Jordan was such a great defender, why couldn't he guard outside of his position?
That's how was it 90s worked, right? They guarded their man.
No, they put Scottie Pippen on a multiple
well, that's
guys.
Different. That's different.
They put Gary Payton on a multitude of guys.
That's different.
That's different too.
Yeah, that's different.
Then they put who is it? Again, what other defenders were in the 90s?
And again,
that's another great question.
Is it the eye test or the competition? Because now y'all going off.
You keep asking that. Yeah, the eye test. We're going off the eye test.
I'm going off who we played against.
The eye test is the competition.
Yeah, who was the? Hold on, wait.
So the only time we can do this is when it's the competition. No other player is graded by their competition.
Yeah, because he made 9 all defensive selections by what? By who else could have took the defensive selection from Jordan? If Jordan had
whoever could do better defensively than what he was doing.
No, if Jordan had Kobe Bryant, if Jordan had Kobe Bryant and Jason Kidd in 10 years while he was making the 9 all defensive team, he's not going to make it.
He did have Jason Kidd was drafted in 94, wasn't he?
Yeah,
that's
I know that.
Way before the end of the 90s.
But that's not in his prime.
That's 10 years
Jordan
he played 3 years.
3 years
he played 3 years with Jordan.
Kidd.
That's it, 3 years. That's what I'm saying. And Jason Kidd's not really in his prime.
Kobe played 2 years with Jordan. Ray Allen 2 years. Brady 1 year.
Actually played. Forget about they played.
That's not. Listen, you're talking narrative, Craig. You said let us talk.
I'm talking narrative.
Because again, I'm bringing up Craig.
Y'all just talked about how Iverson cooked them in year 2, right?
No,
he was good enough to cook him, right? Now they good enough.
That was his rookie year. That was his rookie year.
Craig, Jason Kidd has 9 all defensive selections. That's why I'm mentioning him. Kobe has 12. And majority of those years winning it was not while Jordan was in the league.
And who fault is that?
That's what I'm trying to explain to you, why I'm bringing up the competition. In the 80s and the early 90s, what great defender was there in the guard position? Now, we know there was Cooper,
yeah.
Right? We know that
in the 80s.
That was late 80s. That was late 80s, but Cooper retired after 89. Jordan made his first in 80. Yeah, Jordan made his first in 88. Right? Then you had Joe Dumars.
Point guard for Boston. What's his name? Tip of my tongue.
A.D. Johnson.
Oh, Dennis Johnson.
Dennis Johnson.
Listen, Jordan didn't make his first all defensive team till 88.
88.
Yeah, he wasn't gonna make it over Michael Ray Richardson, Albert Robinson,
Sidney Moncrief.
His first 3 years, right? He's young. His first 3 years, like you said about Kidd.
Exactly.
That's what we're saying. You're proving a point from his point, Craig.
But Craig, that's what I'm saying. By the time Jordan got into his prime, which was 1988. Right? Those guys are retiring and out of their prime.
Same thing for Kidd. By the time he gets his, Jordan's retired.
But he's going in there against Kobe Bryant and other guys who are making all defensive selections in his era. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
Told me there's only one off defensive selection in the 90s. They never had a second team. That only exists everywhere but the 90s.
But what I'm trying to tell you is who was Jordan's competition for the 90s. I'm giving you Kobe Bryant and Jason Kidd was there. Who was Jordan?
You really comparing Kobe Bryant and Jason Kidd to Michael Jordan?
Yeah, they have 12 and 9. Why not? What are we doing that's saying they're not? Jason Kidd has more steals than Jordan. What are we saying that they're not? Kobe Bryant has more all-defensive selections than Jordan.
We could compare them when they didn't play against Jordan. Even though they played with Jordan, but we can't.
I can't compare them at all because you won't even let me get to my point.
Because your point is contradicting your whole argument. You saying
No, it's not. I'm asking you.
you
I'm
saying
trying
Jordan couldn't make a defensive year to the 88 because of Michael Cooper, and I'm literally saying that. Well, that's
I didn't say Michael. Hold on, wait. We gave you 5 guys. Gave you 5. That's how come you guys don't listen. Michael Cooper wasn't the only one. We gave you Dennis Johnson. We gave you Richardson. We gave you Albert Robertson. All these guys were making all defensive teams while Jordan wasn't. So that's what we're saying. I'm asking you from 88 on. None of those guys were there from 88 on, really. Besides Cooper played in 89. The rest of those guys kind of tailored off. That was it. Their career was over with, basically. So we had Joe Dumars, Michael Jordan entering the all defensive selected teams. As far as we know as great defenders. Who else? I could be wrong. My eye test could be wrong.
Boy, didn't Nate McMillan make a couple of all defensive teams?
No.
He may have.
Nate McMillan?
Yeah. He probably have.
I'm going to go look. I'm looking at the all defensive selected teams right now. I don't see Nate McMillan's name. I don't think so. I don't think
he did. I would figure he did.
There's again. We can name some players in Jordan's era. I'm looking at the list now. I mean, if you want to add, let's see, Mookie Blaylock.
I was gonna say Mookie, Eddie.
Mookie made 6 all defensive selections. I'm quite sure most of them were in the 90s.
Well, how about Eddie Jones?
I mean, no, Eddie Jones didn't make no defensive. I don't think he did. But Jordan's better than all those players, though. Jordan's better than all those players defensively.
So you have like Tony Allen, right? That's in the 2000s players making all defensive selections. You have Kobe Bryant. You have Jason Kidd. You have Chris Paul. Even though Chris Paul was late in the 2000s, so we're not going to count Chris Paul.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, I think what Rasheed Riles is saying that he didn't go up against the talent in the 2000s. That's why he thinks he's an overrated defender. Because when those guys were coming in, like the Penny Hardaways and the Grant Hills, Michael Jordan couldn't stay in front of them. That's literally what he's saying. And when we look at who he was playing against, it makes sense. That's why Michael Jordan was the best defensive guard in the 90s, because it's easy to guard these guys. It's easy to guard them.
Rasheed said that, or you think that's what he's implying?
That's basically what he's saying. It's easy to guard these guys. That's why he averaged almost 3 steals a game. He's not doing that today. He was averaging three steals a game. How was he going to do that today?
And Chris Paul, he averaged about 2.4 steals a game too.
This guy's averaging over 2 steals per game right now. SGA. I don't know if it's close to 3, but I know it's over 2. But I really think what Rasheed Wallace was saying was, he said compared to the other players, like he was like there were other guys that were just better defenders than Jordan that could have deserved the all defensive.
I don't know about all that.
Jordan. That's what he's saying. That's what I think. That's what he was saying. Now, what Brandon is saying is what I think Gilbert Arenas was basically saying, that Michael Jordan is not a good on-ball defender. His job, he couldn't guard nobody.
Help defense. He was a help.
Yeah.
That's Pippen's
That's what
job.
He was saying. Yeah, he was saying
I believe that's what Jordan was great at.
That's what it was. That's why he got all those steals. He's not stealing people, guarding him one-on-one. He's in the passing lanes.
Even the blocks are help.
Blocking, it's like you look at the players today, the 6'7" to 6'9" players. They're not averaging a block a game. Paul George is not averaging a block a game. Kawhi Leonard's not averaging a block a game. But when you're guarding Jeff Hornacek, you're going to average a block. When you're guarding Craig Elo, Danny Ainge, you're going to get blocks. These players today, they're not getting block a game because these players are bigger, they're athletic. I mean,
nobody's really averaging
and they're more crafty with the ball. And they're more crafty with the ball.
Guard or small forward is averaging a block a game.
No, now you changed it. You said nobody was averaging a block. Now it's no guard.
I meant the wing player. I meant the wing player, like Michael Jordan's a wing player. No wing player is averaging a block a game, other than LeBron James.
This must have mysteriously just happened because I could have.
No, talent has got better. This is no mysterious. I mean, we've been saying this
never averaged a block a game. I just want to put this out here.
How many times has Wade averaged a block a game?
I don't think he ever averaged a block.
No,
he probably averaged a block game for a season, maybe.
No, but I don't think so.
People, it's hard to average a block a game if you're an NBA player and you're a wing guy.
I bet.
I mean, Anthony Davis averaged like 2 blocks a game, and he's 6'11".
Well, no, Dwayne Wade averaged a block per game 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons.
Okay.
From 2000.
So I guess the guards in this era is trash too because you had a guard.
He did it all. He did it in the 2000s, and he couldn't do it in the thing. I mean, it is, but Dwayne Wade is one of the best blocking guards of all time, just like Jordan's considered the best blocking guard of all time.
I mean, was the guards trash in the 2000s?
I mean, you one anomaly don't change the rule though.
How?
I'm talking about for a career.
No, it's not. I'm not gonna say anomaly. No, he's talking about
a career. For a career. Look at Michael Jordan through this span of almost 10 years. He averaged a block a game. No one is doing that today.
There's nobody freaking play defense like this today. Nobody putting all that energy on defense when they go.
No, Michael Jordan only averaged a block per game 4 times, and it was mostly in the 80s.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he never averaged a block in the 90s. Y'all just.
I know he hasn't because players got better. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's not going to be averaging a block a game and 3 steals a game. He's not going to average a block. Yeah, these players right here. That's why he's not going to average a block a game and three steals a game today. Like, it's just not going to happen.
You get it. Nobody knew how to play basketball. Everybody knew how to play basketball after 2000. That's what everybody knew how to play basketball. Nobody knew how to play basketball before 2000. We get it.
Correct. I think the example of Jordan came into the league starting in like 95, 96. And the skilled players that watch Jordan play when they come up came into the NBA about 95, 96. So those players were coming into the later as Jordan came into his career.
No, my question now is: does Jordan's stats trump eye test?
I don't know what eye test y'all looking at because
the eye test is saying Jordan's getting blocks against scrubs. That's the eye test. Jordan's getting steals against scrubs. That's the eye test.
This is why they say Michael Jordan's a top 5 defender because of his stats from when he was supposedly in his prime. When he's averaging almost 3 steals a game and a block a game. This is why they say he's a top 5 defender of all time because of his stats.
And don't forget Defensive Player of the Year. That's also
but this might be
Defensive Player of the Year as well.
What I'm about to say might be a reach. What's Jordan's defensive moment that you can think of?
The steal in Utah.
Correct. I said it may be a reach.
The steal in Utah.
I mean, what's his defensive moment?
The steal in Utah.
That's 98.
I mean,
they can't even tell us.
LeBron's is probably known as the block against Iguodala, Game 7.
I mean, LeBron has I mean, chase down is LeBron thing.
98. Did you not see that?
Right
he
now,
scored the ball. Then wait a minute. They was down 4 points. He scored the last 6 points for the team, and got the clutch steal.
He hit the layup on who? Was that Russell?
Off of inbounds, he hit the layup. They came down. He stole the ball from Karl Malone. They didn't call a timeout. Then you know what happened from there. A sequence. That's a whole sequence. That didn't involve nobody else on the Bulls team but him. Oh, someone had to inbound the ball to him.
Rodman's defense on Karl Malone, Matt. Jordan even said it in the doc. He said the way Rodman bothered Malone helped that steal because he knew he was going to be concentrating more on Rodman than he will be the ball. I mean, Jordan said it, so I'm only using his words.
Okay, and if someone's driving down the lane and they get a shot blocked from behind, they're not expecting nobody to be from behind him.
So getting that shot blocked from behind. What you mean?
I'm talking. He brought LeBron James up on the Iguodala.
I mean, everyone knows that LeBron James is going to take LeBron. That's a patent move for LeBron. That's a patent move for LeBron.
Undercut Iguodala.
People miss layups because LeBron is coming.
Yeah.
They're terrified of LeBron James when they're on a fast break. They're on a fast break.
He wouldn't have had a good option to get the block like that. That would have been a bucket if JR didn't undercut Iguodala.
When you're on a fast break and you see LeBron, you get scared. You're going to miss a layup. You're going to pull it out. That's how scary LeBron is defensively.
Yeah, and I'm looking up some numbers now. In 1991, Jordan averaged 1 block and 2 steals per game, 2.5 steals per game. Right? Jordan and Reggie Lewis are the only shooting guards that actually average over a block per game. Jordan and Pippen are the only 2 players that average over a block and 2 steals per game in 1991. But in today's NBA in 2024, there's 3 guys that are shooting guards that average over 1 block per game. That's Scotty Barnes, Derek White, and Caruso. Surprisingly, James Harden averaged 0.9, just under 1, just a little bit. But none of these guys average over 2 steals per game.
And none of them average over 30 in the season either. While doing it.
Well, the guy who averages 2.3 steals per game does average over 31 points per game, which is SGA. He's doing that this year. That's a fact.
So is this league trash because one player averaged 32 steals in a block? Is this era trash?
Well, I can say this era is trash because there's only in 1991 there was only 22 players that can average over 20 points per game. In today's NBA, it is
well over double, ain't it?
46 players can average over 20 points per game. Defense is way harder now to play. You have to guard.
It's a lot. It's a lot easier to score points when you don't have to work on the defensive end as hard. You don't have a player who could get you 30. You don't go into an arena and someone could go score 30 on you every night.
So what's better? What's better? Eye tests or talking stats, Craig? What's better for you? You want to continue talking eye tests or you want to keep talking
stats? Eye tests.
Yeah, I mean, yes. Bring up the eye test. I mean, if Michael Jordan had to go against these guards and these scoring point guards, there's no way on earth he'll be averaging 30 points a game because he'll be exhausted.
You know what? Let's put up the link, Brandon. Let's put up the link. We want some Jordan fans to help us bring up why this guy's eye test couldn't really see Jordan's defense. Who was Jordan guarding? Who was the other defenders that Jordan outbeat for all defensive selections? So we want some Jordan fans to show up. Put the link is up, please, y'all. Join the panel. We want some Jordan fans here. Shout out to everybody in the comments. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Shout out to Zero. He is a member of the GOAT James Kingdom platform for 8 months. Thank you, sir. You have been one of our initial followers. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Shout out to Zero. But go ahead, Brandon. We're going to show y'all who Jordan would have had to guard if he was playing in this era. We need y'all to tell us who Jordan was guarding in his era. So that's the link. Join the panel. Go ahead, Brandon.
All right, so we're going to bring you guys on one at a time again. So we're going to bring Double A on.
Hey, fellas. What's going on, fellas?
What's good?
Happy Sunday, my kneesies. What's going on? Y'all ready for Super Bowl next week?
Of
bang,
course.
Bang Niners gang. Bang, bang Niners gang.
Hey, y'all going live. Y'all should go live like before the game, not early. Next Sunday, y'all should go live like an hour or something before the game. Because you know everybody going to be chilling near the TV and shit. And really get it going. But what's the call? In regards to what we're talking about right now, where I'm a little confused, and please help me out, fellas, if I'm wrong. 1 minute we arguing it's a team thing, and then we go to like an individual player, right? So when I say that, we said the shooting guards from those eras. Even now, I don't think every like, all right, Durant and LeBron may not match up, right? That's fair to say. Do they match up in this era? They don't guard each other, right?
More than likely, they're not going to guard each other.
Yeah. So I mean, just that part of the argument, I think it kind of starts off as, I don't want to say false, but it's really like false advertising, because even some of these players that you're talking about, he bust their ass. He bust Ray Allen's ass. He bust AI ass.
Who did?
Mike.
No, wait.
Oh, you talking about when they were like rookies?
When
they were rookies?
No, I mean Kobe 97, 98. I mean Kobe was good old.
He was 18 years old. Okay, so that's his second year.
No. But when you say bust they ass, you mean Jordan went off for 40 on them, or did Jordan lock them down? We're talking about Jordan's defense now. We know Jordan is a great scorer. He busts a lot of people's ass. But I mean, did he lock people down? Because that was what Rasheed Wallace said. He got his ass bust. That's what he said.
He locked people down. Motherfuckers gave him buckets too. That's basketball. He didn't lock every single person down. I won't sit here and say that.
So who did he lock down?
What did he do when in the 90s?
But whoever his matchup was, if they average,
Okay, I want
He's
to
not
hold
gonna
on.
give you a name.
hold on, look, because hey, were you being unfair? You asking me for a specific game through a whole career, right? You asked me for one game. What game
That's
did you
what they
see him shut somebody
do.
down? Go
I
ahead.
mean, you should
I'm
know
just
it's
asking for
Michael
one
Jordan.
Oh, wait,
play.
You gotta say
hold on. I
you
got
just
this.
said he locked people down. So
Wait, I gotta do this. I got hold on. I gotta do this. Aaron, who has LeBron not locked down and should have locked down before?
A lot of people. He didn't lock down KD in the finals when they played.
Stop right there. How you found a name for LeBron James so fast, but you couldn't find a name for Jordan?
We're talking about
I saw what he was doing.
6 years ago. We're talking about something more recent. So I'm giving
Okay,
you a more recent answer.
okay, so you're not talking based off eye test when you're talking about Jordan. You're talking off of the things you've heard about Michael Jordan, correct?
No, I've watched again. This is where y'all trip most people up. Y'all try to break it down to the smallest common denominator and go from the question you're asking. We just asked about LeBron. I answered your question. Then you said, "Oh,
no, I wanted you to tell me about Jordan, but you couldn't.
Yeah.
I knew you was going to answer LeBron because you know more about LeBron than Jordan.
Because he just we're talking about a recent finals.
Most of the time they know
I'm
more
giving
about
you an
LeBron
example of LeBron getting torched.
I know. I just want to know because my understanding is this: he gave you names. Rasheed Wallace said J.R. Ryder.
J.R. Ryder gave him 20. J.R. Ryder gave him 20. Yes, he did.
That's what I'm saying. So give us one person that you was like, yo, today Jordan really shut this guy down on this game. There's got to be some kind of evidence of something of Jordan shutting one particular player down.
All right, let me ask you this. So if we go to the game where he had, I think it was 8 steals before halftime, right? If he doesn't lock one single person down, we're gonna discredit the 8 steals he got in a half because it wasn't specifically one person that he stole it from 8 times.
No, but we said that. We said that he's a help defender. So yeah, he was playing the passing lanes. I think what Gilbert Arenas called it was a net defender. Brandon, you ever heard of that? A net defender?
Yeah, that's what he called it.
I never heard of a net defender, but I guess that's what that means. That means he's not a primary defender. He's a help defender.
That could be. And you know what I watched the other day? I watched the 91 finals. This cat online posted all the finals, right? Game 3, you know what they said? Marv Albert said, I think it was. He said, "We know what Phil's going to do. He's putting Michael on Magic beginning of this game." Now everybody always goes back to the first game when Scotty switched off on him. If I'm not mistaken, second game.
It was second game.
Second game, yeah, my bad. Thank you. Second game when Scotty switched off. He wasn't the primary defender all game, just like we watch now. LeBron might be the best player the whole first 3 quarters. Last 5 minutes, LeBron's going to get on that team and do whatever they want him to do. Whether he succeed or fail, they're going to do that. So when you sit here and say, what's one player, I'm not going to say, hey, he locked Magic down in the finals. Magic had a triple-double, but it was only 10 to 10. His overall defense, the blocks, the steals, you combine all of it. You watch it. You just try to make me say one player. Okay, he locked down.
No, we just want some help. We want some help because people say we haters.
No. But just don't discredit. Like we don't like. I won't sit there and say to you, "Are you saying Jordan's an underrated defender?" I'm not going to say, "Well, LeBron don't even have that many all teams. I don't gotta move shit around to get my point across." You know what I'm saying? LeBron
I'm not moving things around. I just want some help. Well, we know what we got. Ralph here. Ralph is the true MJ delegate over here because Craig has been handling us for a while. What up, Ralph?
What up, man?
Ralph, listen. Just to let you know, Aaron, we're going to give you one time where LeBron really shut somebody down. That was last night. He shut Jalen Brunson down. What up, Ralph?
Nah, we're not gonna do that. I watched that game. They were blitzing Jalen Brunson. That's what they were doing because Jalen Brunson was cooking them, and then they in that second half they were blitzing him.
Where you better be glad. Teams in the fourth quarter alone.
Yes, he had crazy double teams. That's how they beat us. Hey, good job, good job, Lakers. I salute them for adjusting their defense. That's a great job. Because after Jalen Brunson, and then they were actually tightening up the defense on DiVincenzo that really messed us up.
That's for beating. That's for beating my Heat last week.
The Lakers,
the Lakers was looking kind of shaky at first. Looking a little shaky.
Yeah. All right, Ralph. We're talking overrated Jordan comment. You've heard it before. You are a proponent of talking basketball daily. So we're talking using our eye test on Jordan, right? Because we know the stats say Jordan's a good defender because Craig has proven the stats is where it's at when it comes to Jordan. But we're saying the eye test says he's not. Was there a moment in the 90s that we can say Jordan was his defensive moment? That was his moment as a defender?
I think in the 92 against the Blazers, he made Clyde Drexler inefficient.
Very.
But he still averaged 25, 8, and 5. And
His
still
percentages went down though.
Yeah, he went from 47 to 41%.
And
he got more free throws. He got more free throws.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
that got him to that 25.
But that can count to Jordan not playing good defense. It's either one thing: Jordan was fouling him, or he was getting around Jordan and getting fouled at the rim.
Well, we would have to look at it. We would have to look at that.
The eye test. The eye. See, they go to eye test. See, I know.
Well, we would have to see like how he got those free throws. I mean, we could look at it. We could look at the stats and say, all right, he was inefficient. He got more free throws, but how did he get those free throws? We can't see that on the stat sheet though.
What did Pat shoot that series to make him inefficient?
He shot 40% from the free throw. I mean, from the field. When he was shooting, I think like 48 or something like that from the field during the regular season.
So Ralph, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful what you're saying, Ralph.
So would you say that Michael Jordan was inefficient versus Utah in the finals?
What year?
98.
Both years.
98.
98 definitely too, for sure.
What he shot?
He shot like 41%.
In 98, he shot 43% in the finals. And in 97, he shot 45%, 45.6. So it was definitely in 98, he shot 43%, which is below his average.
What did he average in that finals?
33 points per game. Why did the average matter?
He averaged 33, and then in the regular season, hold on, wait. In a regular season, he averaged 28, right?
Yeah, 28.
So his points went up and his percentage went down. How far his percentage went down is the question.
But he was inefficient shooting the ball.
I believe his efficiency in 19. You want the playoffs?
It was like
or you want
40.
Season?
I think the regular season was like. No, I think it was like. No, I think it was like. 46 in 98.
46.5. So we'll make it 46. It went down. It went down 4 points, and his points went up. He went up 4 points. He went up 4 points, and his field goal percentage went down 4 points.
Can I ask?
So it offsets each other.
Okay. No, but let me ask you this. Hold on. Okay. No, go ahead. Go ahead, Brandon. Go ahead.
So you're saying Michael Jordan was not inefficient shooting in 98?
It offsets each other because even though. Yes, it does.
So he wasn't inefficient.
Oh my gosh, you gonna let me finish?
Okay, so he wasn't inefficient.
If his percentage went down and his points went up, it offsets.
But all right, so let me ask you this: if I told you, hey, that's a guy, he gonna come in, he averages 25 points per game and shoots 47% from the field. But in this series, he came in, averaged 25 points per game and shot 41% from the field. You would say you did an effective job against that player?
Yeah, because like his points didn't go up, it stayed the same, but his efficiency went down. There's nothing to offset that.
But he didn't have to take more shots or nothing to do that. He still averaged the same amount of points with the same amount of shots.
He had to take more free throws.
But the free throws are a bad thing. That means you put him on the line. Putting somebody on the line is not a good thing.
Well, that's why I said we got to look at that series to see how he got that how he was able to get those free throws.
All right, so Ralph says 1992 Clyde Drexler. That's Michael Jordan fans. I've heard that one before. AAA didn't have anything at all. We have H from UK here. Thank you for joining the GOAT James Kingdom panel. Are you a MJ guy? Can you help us understand where Michael Jordan's defense was at in the 90s so that we can debunk Rasheed Wallace's eye test?
First things first, blessings and shalom, man. Just want to greet everyone. GOAT James. GOAT James Kingdom. I seen you on FYF. I think we've had a conversation before.
Oh yes, so, your voice is familiar. Your accent is similar, but I remember you. Yes, how you doing, my friend?
Yeah. I wouldn't say I'm an MJ fan. I'd say I'm a basketball fan. I just try to keep everything fair. To be fair, I'd say Michael Jordan's defense is overrated. I'm not gonna lie and say it's not. I think they tried to beat Michael Jordan in the 90s to be basically he's the prototype model for a superstar. So they're gonna gas up everything. However, that's not to negate or take away from him that he was an excellent defender. I think the best moment Michael Jordan ever had on defense was against Gary Payton. in the 98. Is it the finals they had? I think that's the best ever defensive performance he ever had. I think personally,
what Gary Payton states.
Well, hold on, wait. Was he
why
guarding
was
Gary
it Gary?
Payton in the? Was he guarding
Yeah,
Gary Payton in
yeah,
that
he
finals?
was. Gary Payton said he was having his way with Jordan until they switched Scottie Pippen on him.
Yeah, that's
That's
exactly
what
what he
Gary
said.
Payton stated
But
from
that's
Gary
not true.
Payton's mouth.
But that's
Well,
not.
Gary
A
Payton,
lot of
a
people say a
liar,
lot of people
I
say a
guess.
lot of stuff. A lot of people say a lot of stuff, man. We have to just look at the stats.
Okay, Gary. Okay, let's look at the stats. Thank you for bringing that up. We appreciate you, H. Gary Payton averaged 18 points per game, 6 rebounds, 7 assists on 44% shooting and 33% from three-point land. That NBA season, 1996, Gary Payton averaged 19 points per game, so he averaged just a point under. His field goal percentage went down, which mostly happens in the playoffs. It went down to from 48 to 44. So we would have to look at like Ralph said, what games did Michael Jordan guard him?
He guarded him through most of the playoffs. I think that was his primary. That was his primary opposition. That was his primary man. He chased him off pin downs. He chased him off pick and rolls. That was his primary man. So you should watch through all of the season. Michael Jordan actually made, how can I say, his mission through the first half of the series to guard him. It was only late in the games, more or less the fourth quarter, where Scottie Pippen took over.
Now I am looking at this.
Scottie also started guarding Gary Payton heavy at the game, starting the game 4, and that's what.
That is true. That is true. That is true. But then you have to then also agree that Michael Jordan did start on Gary Payton at the beginning of all the series. But game 4, that is true.
Well, if
remember
that's
they lost game 4.
No, but if that's the case, then you made a great point there, H. Michael Jordan had shut down Gary Payton to 13 points in game 1, 13 points in game 2, 19 points in game 3, but he came up in game 4 with 21 points.
When Scottie guarded him.
When Scottie guarded him, supposedly. So we know that he had 21 points and 11 assists.
Hey, that's what
King
John just said. Game 4.
He
Game
did.
4. He's saying game 4. That's what I'm saying. We're breaking this down. Remember, we were going off of Rasheed Wallace's eye test. Okay, majority of us didn't see the 90s. Majority of us here has not seen the 90s.
So being now he shut down Gary Payton in 96, and Gary Payton happened to play into the 2000s. Wouldn't that?
He shut down the 16-point per game player?
I'm just saying. Hey, that 60-point couldn't win in the 90s, but he sure did win in the 2000s.
Yeah, because he had Shaq.
Oh, Shaq is in the 90s. What the fuck?
Well, if we actually want to lie and say Michael Jordan shut down Gary Payton, we could say that. But we all know that's not true. It was because they switched Scottie Pippen on.
But we just
as of right now, Jordan guarded him the first 3 games, and supposedly Scottie was afterwards. In game 5, Gary Payton went off for 23 points, 6 assists, and 9 rebounds.
Game 5 is Jordan actually did guard him that game, and that was his worst game.
Yeah, he said, I'm going to win on Father's Day. He said, I'm going to win on Father's Day. Let him have this one game.
But Gary Payton getting his shit off should not surprise any of us. He ain't a
But I don't. Yeah, no, I got you on that. But you know what? I would rather think, I don't know. Wouldn't they put Ron Harper on Gary Payton and let Jordan be on Hersey Harkins?
They all took their turns on Gary.
That's what we would do now, Johnny. That's what we would do in this era.
Jordan really guarded the best players.
And Jordan also
even versus the Pacers, he guarded Chris Mullin. He didn't even guard Reggie Miller. He made sure that he had to save his energy to score the ball.
But Jordan lowest point per average finals was actually against Seattle as well.
Yeah, we're not talking Jordan offense. We're talking Jordan defense. Twin Man, thanks for being patient. So, Twin Man, we know you an advocate for LeBron James. You a GOAT James Kingdom advocate as well. Appreciate you. So, what do you think? Is Michael Jordan's defense overrated? Is there a moment in time that we're missing that Jordan was really shutting players down in the 90s?
I'm not going to say his defense is overrated. What I will say is this. He did what he was supposed to do against the competition that was in front of him. You dominate mediocre competition. Let's just be real. This is the only way I have to think. This is how I think about it. Jordan's not putting up those defensive numbers today. The way the guards score today, Jordan's getting cooked. he's gonna get cooked, and he wouldn't average 30 today because he would be too tired. Imagine Jordan having to guard Steph Curry. Imagine Jordan having to guard SGA, Devin Booker, Jason Tatum. Come on. Again, I understand Craig is like, oh, we're trying to point out the competition, but that matters. If you're head and shoulders above everybody else, it's easy to dominate. Come on. Like that's why I give LeBron James way more credit, because there's way more competition. I heard somebody talk about KD. LeBron's not guarding KD. Why would LeBron James guard KD when KD's what, 2-3 inches taller than him? That makes no sense. You're gonna put somebody taller on KD.
Oh, don't do that.
But anytime they did match up, KD's and ridiculous, one of the best offensive players ever. Why wouldn't he give LeBron James buckets? KD's giving anybody buckets.
That's the point I was making.
That's the point. But hold up, it's my turn. You can't say that for any of the competition Jordan played in the 90s, except for Allen Iverson, maybe a Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, and Jordan's not gonna guard them because Jordan's primary focus was to score the basketball. So you're gonna put him on the secondary person, the third person, so he can save that energy to score. And
that's late in his career too as well. But that's late in Jordan's career as well. So that's why we don't count those guys. Because, again, none of you guys would say Jordan was elite defender in 96, 97, 98. Are y'all saying that?
I mean, that's his first team on defense. I say otherwise.
I wouldn't say elite. I wouldn't say elite, but he was really.
Jordan's going to play the passing lanes. He's going to play the passing lanes. He's going to dominate the shorter guards like he's supposed to. So I'm not going to say it's overrated. I can't call it overrated. He did what he was supposed to do. Like, look at that lineup. Like, come on. Why wouldn't Michael Jordan kill Jeff Hornacek on defense? Come on. Is Joe Dumars an offensive juggernaut? Like, let's come on. Let's be real here. There's not a lot of at that position at the time. There really wasn't a lot of competition. There just really wasn't. You had Clyde, yes, but besides that, there really isn't a lot of competition for Jordan to really have to go up against. But we saw him against Grant Hill. We saw him against Penny. He couldn't do nothing with anybody his height and his height or taller. He couldn't do nothing with him.
And that's what Rasheed Wallace was saying.
What do you mean he couldn't do anything with him?
He couldn't do that. He couldn't guard Penny one-on-one. He could not guard Penny one-on-one. Penny was going to bust his ass.
Twin man, stop. Listen, Aaron, what Jordan team did was we're not talking about defense. Jordan sweeping somebody has nothing to do about his defense. We're talking about Jordan's defense individually. We have Ace 30 in the building. Shout out to Ace 30. Ace 30, you hear what we're talking, man. Is Rasheed Wallace tripping? Or should we just take his eye test for what everybody else takes his eye test for as the truth?
I just before I want to get my take, I just want to ask the general question. Maybe this was answered early in the stream. What is the general perception of Jordan's defense? Is he regarded as the greatest perimeter defender? Is he what is the perception? I know he's a great perimeter defender, but what is the perception? What's the general perception? So. I can't say he's overrated.
Guard of all time. Yeah, I think he's the greatest defensive guard of all time.
Jordan the best defender of all time, and it's ridiculous.
No. Well, hold on, wait. Let's let the Jordan fans answer. We'll start with Craig. We'll let Ralph go, and then Aaron, you go last. Go ahead, Craig. What is Jordan's thing? Answer.
They said Jordan was the greatest two-way player because he played defense, and he was just as good as he was on defense as he was on offense. That's what they say. They didn't say he was the greatest defender of all time. No one says that. So I wouldn't call him the greatest defender of all time.
Okay, Ralph, can you answer Sturdy's question?
Hold on. Repeat your question.
Repeat your question, Sturdy, please.
What is the perception of Jordan perimeter defense? Like, what is it?
What is he known for? Like, what does Jordan hang his hat on? Yeah, what's the perception? What is it he calls? Like, we know Gary Payton is get on you. He'll get up close on you. He'll steal the ball from you. What kind of defender is Michael Jordan? Describe Jordan's defense so we can understand how he's rated.
Do you want me to go first?
Not so much the description of how he was the defender. I'm saying where is he rated? I don't want to call him overrated or
okay. Where is he
underrated
rated?
unless I know what the general perception of where he's rated as a perimeter defender.
So what's the narrative, right?
No, just what we think. No, because
He's top five.
Go ahead, Aaron. Go ahead. Aaron got it. Aaron, go ahead, Aaron. Get him, Aaron.
yo, fuck you.
Get him, Aaron.
No. I'm like Craig said. It's always discussed that he's one. They always discuss that he's one of, if not the best two-way players. But it's always he's one of. That's it, because he got the numbers to prove it, both on offense and defense. Nobody ever says he's the greatest defender ever. He's one of the best two-way players.
Okay.
So hopefully Ralph can actually. That's it. Like that's the answer y'all give me.
I mean,
like he's
like,
time out.
Are you wanting me to explain like what he does on defense, or like?
No, I thought it was simple. I thought if okay, let's use a different player, a different skill. If I ask you,
access LeBron. Access about LeBron. Go ahead. Access about LeBron.
Yeah, if I ask you, is LeBron as a scorer, is he overrated? If the general consensus has him around top 5 to 10, do you get it? Rating, perception, in comparison to the group.
No,
in
Rob,
comparison to.
No, I was gonna say, listen. The perception of LeBron defense is that he can guard 1 through 5. That's the perception we have with LeBron James.
I got you.
What's the perception about Michael Jordan? And that's why he's
It's
a top 5 defender of all time.
He's one of the greatest perimeter defenders ever.
He's a great.
Okay, one of. Okay, what like top 5, top 10? Like what you mean one of?
You can say top 5. You can say top 5.
Ooh.
Okay, I just thank you.
Yeah. Again, nobody ever says he's the best at it. That's what I'm saying. Nobody ever said.
No. Okay. No, because it's small. No, because if you're top 10 or top 25, top 15, you're one of the greatest ever. But the point is, though, right? The point is, one, I don't know why y'all was giving me two-way when I asked only one side of the ball. That's weird. Number two, in regards, if you're considering him one of the top 5 greatest perimeter defenders of all time, then I think that's overrated, extremely overrated.
Yeah, I was gonna say top 10. I'll say top 10.
Give me a 5. Give me a 5.
Oh, I just give you 5 that's definitely better perimeter defenders than him. Pippen, Kawhi. Oh, you want guards or you want perimeter defenders?
That's all I say when it's Mike. You say he one of the best.
No.
Aaron. Nobody went by position.
Aaron, that's what I'm saying.
Like, on that list. Now it's not about guards. I just literally showed us a whole graph of every guard he played against.
No. He asked y'all, what is the perception of Michael Jordan's defense all time? Nobody said anything
he
about
asked
guards.
us, what do we think before he gets into the conversation?
Y'all didn't say guards. None of y'all said guards. Y'all said top.
Y'all didn't say guard. Y'all didn't say guard until I mentioned.
All time.
Y'all didn't say guard. Y'all didn't say guard until y'all asked me, and then I start saying better perimeter defenders. Now y'all want to stick to guard.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
Yeah. What the hell?
Perimeter guard. I think most people would associate perimeter with guard.
But that's the
no.
Point.
Most people most people associate.
Rob said it right. Rob, you said it right. Rob, you said it correctly. It's vague. It's vague. Rob, you said it right. It's so vague. There is never no concrete evidence for us to understand how great a defender is. So that's why Rasheed Wallace saying what he's saying is not really that outrageous. Because he's using his eye test. He's throwing away all defensive selections. He's basically saying, listen, from what I saw, this man got his behind bust because he can't stay in front of nobody. Anybody can get past him. That's basically what he was saying.
And when did he say that? In '95 when he was playing?
And that's a vague statement either, because like what is he talking about? Like, is he talking about in a late, like the second 3P?
When was he drafted? 95?
He was drafted in 95.
If somebody,
it sounds like he was talking about the later part of his
valid because in 95, but him
Yes, Ralph. He's not talking 80s Jordan. He's not talking 93 Jordan.
In 95 was Jordan.
He's Jordan. He's talking.
If we're gonna talk about
back then,
if we're talking about the second 3P Jordan, I can see.
Ralph was.
Well, let's just keep it as 84 to 93. Let's keep it there. 84 to 93.
But we can't talk about offensive players that Jordan had to guard between 84 and 93.
That's what I'm saying. It's really hard to sit here and say he was this dominant force on defense because you really didn't have a big threat at that position. Most of your threat was from the was from your big man.
Here's the thing.
frame. That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
here's
Like,
the
I
thing.
can't
Here's the
say
thing.
Jordan's defense is overrated.
His,
I can't say it's overrated because you're supposed to dominate that position when you don't really have any offensive threat.
Well, that
You're
doesn't make
supposed to do
sense.
that.
Hold on, wait, Twin Man, that doesn't make
Yeah.
sense because that now you're putting the expectation on Jordan like people put on LeBron. You know, it's not supposed to. It's either you're great or you're not great. Obviously, Jordan's a great defender. Nobody's taking Jordan's defense away from him. We're just trying to figure out is he overrated? Let's let Sturdy finish up his comment and then we'll let King Money Fly speak for a second. Go ahead, Sturdy.
so yeah, if the consensus Jordan fans think Michael Jordan is a top five perimeter defender all time, then yes, that's extremely overrated. No one's even Rasheed. 'Cause I watched the entire podcast episode. Even Rasheed didn't say he wasn't a great defender. He just saying the perception of him. We understand the machine, the marketing machine behind Jordan amplified what he actually was defensively. And what he was defensively, from my opinion, from what I've seen in the games I watched, the film I broke down, he was an excellent help defender, excellent transition defender. But when it came to on ball, and that's just what it is. He's 6'6", staying in front of guys, especially guys with great handles laterally. He couldn't do it as effective as he was off ball. That's why we've seen multiple moments where Scottie Pippen took a lot of that point attack responsibility, especially during the later three-peat and early in the first three-peat. We've seen multiple occasions where Ron Harper did it. We've seen multiple occasions even B.J. Armstrong did it. He don't get enough credit for some of his defensive waywardness too. And it's not nothing negative against Jordan because that's how most Jordan fans take it. Anytime you be accurate about Jordan, it's a negative connotation. No, it's not. It makes sense. That's like the fact that he always had the blunt he always had the blunt responsibility of the scoring the offense load. So he's not going to be the best defender or have the much any defensive end. But when guys like Rasheed Wallace say that affect your defense, there's nothing wrong with saying that. And I just want to provide a little clarification. LeBron's, we actually did a film breakdown. LeBron spent majority of time in 2012 guarding KD, and vice versa. So let's get that out of the way. Second thing is, and I'm gonna be fair with Michael Jordan too. The biggest misconception about 1991 finals is the fact that Scottie Pippen spent more time on Magic was actually Jordan. Now, Scottie Pippen had more success guarding Magic, but in terms of time, it was actually Jordan, and that's primarily because what people don't do, people see it as like a 2K method. It was like, okay, they measure people's defense on someone's ability to score. When in reality, you measure a great defender based off the responsibility, the schemes, what they asked to do. So, in that example I gave for 91, Phil Jackson wanted Michael Jordan to be more on Magic because Magic's deadliest weapon, playmaking. He wanted Scotty to be the roamer, disrupting the cuts, being in passing lanes. That way, slow off the overall offense of the Los Angeles Lakers. So I think overall, if you think Jordan's a top five perimeter defender, that's extremely overrated. But he was still an all-time great defender. And I want to conclude my conclusion with this: measuring a person's defense isn't just relying upon all defensive teams and defensive player of the years. Accolades do not give you an accurate representation of who that person was on the defensive end.
Listen, don't do that, Sturdy. We all don't do that because we all know Michael Jordan's
offense.
No, don't do that, Sturdy. Michael Jordan's all defensive selections and defensive player of the year, the greatest ones of all time. Let's let King fly in. What happened, King John?
I just wanted to say one thing, Sturdy. You was right about the Jordan thing. Jordan guard Magic most of the time. Johnny had broke down the film on that 1991 series, showing that Jordan guarded Magic more than Scotty did. I just wanted to say that.
Can I say?
Well, yeah, I don't have to lie.
No, wait, Twin Man, give me a second. No, give me a second. Let me let King Money Fly in right quick, and we're gonna let you in, Twin Man. Well, King Money Fly, we're talking Michael Jordan's defense. You heard it. Supposedly he's a top 5 perimeter defender of all time. Does that overrate Michael Jordan as a defender?
I mean, for me, I think so. You know, based on even all the evidence, if you watch the game and if you know the game, especially like with the hand checking rule. In his time, like you guys were saying earlier, when he's playing against Danny Ainge and them guys, it's easy for him to guard them guys because one, they weren't as athletic, they didn't have the offensive ability as him, so it's easy for him to stop those guys versus them stopping him. You know what I mean? So and then it's just kind of crazy. Like once he left, they changed the rules of the NBA. As soon as he's retired, they took hand checking out. You know, they added, you know, the three defensive second rules and stuff like that while he's along his journey. So that also helped him to prepare him for people to feel like, oh, he's the best defender because they also helped him to look like that. You know what I mean? And based on the competition he was playing against. So like and a lot of times when people be saying competition, I have like a 5-team, 5-versus-5, like, you know, players in competition, and who would you pick? You know what I'm saying? So for his Jordan era, I would say you had Mike, Clyde, Reggie. You can put Sidney Moncrief and Mitch Richmond, and then you'll go with LeBron. You'll have Kevin Durant. You can have Paul George. You can have Carmelo. And Kawhi Leonard, and then you can put honorable mention Paul Pierce. Who you gonna take in that game? Like, it doesn't matter the rules or whatever. Who you gonna take for his competition? If those 5 guys played against his 5 competitions, who you guys gonna take? You know what I mean? So, I mean, like I said, based on the evidence and stuff like that, I mean, I wouldn't say he's top 5. You know, he's a cool defender, but I just think they'd be overdoing it. You know what I mean? So
who said
that's
he was
pretty much
top
what I
5?
wanted to say about it.
Who said he was top 5?
Okay. I was just about to ask that before we get to that. Hold on, before we get to that, shout out to Lamont FYF Sports Debate. He said, I did a video August 8th, 2020. Jordan's defense overrated. Rasheed Wallace stole my take verbatim. So
he stole your flow. He stole your flow.
So y'all go check out FYF Sports Debate. So all right. So Ralph says Jordan's not top 5 perimeter defender all time. He's top 10. Craig. Where is Jordan?
I never said he was top 5. I put.
But where is he to you? Where is he to you?
I would say top 10.
Okay, top 10. All right, Aaron, where's Jordan in all-time perimeter defender?
Top 5.
So Aaron said top 5.
Yeah.
No, wait, and I'm gonna tell you this right now. Listen, y'all don't take one for the team, but Aaron takes one for the team. Aaron is a Jordan guy. He's a Kobe Jordan guy, and he says he's top 5 rated all time in defense. So that's the big thing. That's the big. Yeah, that's a big question. Again, it is a subjective take because what are we basing it off of? Because like Rasheed Wallace said, Jordan wasn't really that good at the defender. And to break on what Sturdy was saying, was there really other defenders that could have challenged Jordan to be the one that won the first team all defensive team during those years? That's another thing too. How many great defenders in the guard position was there during the 90s to actually challenge Michael Jordan?
If we're just talking about guards, then you have guys like, you know, Stockton, Payton, Mookie Blaylock was a very underrated great defender. Mookie Blaylock, I want to say Drexler. No, hold on. It starts getting thin after that. Joe Dumars, Nate McMillan. Those are great. But like, once you start,
I was wrong. Nate McMillan did make 2. Nate McMillan did make 2 all defensive teams.
Oh, and
earlier, 94 and 95. Go ahead.
And you had Spree Rail for a little bit, but like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Once you get past 8, it starts to get thin, especially for the guard all defensive teams.
Everybody, and the NBA was a big man league back in the day. It was just the 90s just started seeing the guards come in and take over as the dominant position. Back then, it was all power forwards and centers.
No, we're just asking if there's more guards.
I'm just saying.
We're just trying to figure out. No, we're trying to figure out who are these players Rasheed Wallace are saying that he thought was better defenders than Michael Jordan.
It have to be because he got drafted in 95, so it have to be 95 and beyond. You can't go back.
Well, hold on, time out. Just because he got drafted in 95 don't mean he wasn't only watching NBA till he got to 95. He said it in the same podcast that as long as I've been watching Jordan coming up, which means he watched Jordan's entire career, it wasn't just 95. I don't know why you just stopped at 95.
No, because they got the clip from us, and there's only that little short clip, the one that went viral. So again, a lot of us didn't watch it, the whole interview. I didn't watch it.
Okay, my bad. I saw the whole video.
Thanks for the info. That's perfect info. Go ahead, Craig. I'm sorry.
Didn't he say that Iverson cooked them? Wasn't that after 95? Then he named
that's giving examples. Yes, that's giving examples.
Mind you, the players he did list though were all players that were in the league while he was in the league. So he did name Iverson, J.R. Ryder. Who was the other guys he mentioned?
Clyde Drexler.
Oh, he did mention Clyde Drexler as well.
He named players actually had
Drexler was there before.
He named players that actually had an offensive bag that can give Jordan trouble. if you that's what I'm sitting here saying. Like, I understand you said I'm putting the expectations on Jordan, but if I'm 6'6" and everybody else is 6'3", 6'2", I'm gonna dominate that.
Yeah,
I'm
do
going to
that.
Especially
dominate.
when you're more
Magic
athletic than
don't
them.
have offensive. Like I talked about Gary Payton. He doesn't have the offensive bag to give Jordan trouble. Magic Johnson didn't have the offensive bag to give Jordan trouble. But you know who did? Penny Hardaway, Grant Hill, Isaiah Ryder, um, um, Allen Iverson. Anybody that actually had an offensive bag gave Jordan trouble. And nobody wants to admit that. Ace 30 talked about, at the end of the day, the machine is going to push what they're going to push. We always talk about how the NBA was pushing Jordan as the face of the league. You're gonna push him as this box office great top 5 defender, even though it's not true.
I mean, one of the main one of the main things with defense is you have to give effort. There were more players giving more effort on defense than Jordan. That's why defense is so subjective. Like for instance, Rajah Bell gave more effort on defense than Kobe Bryant, but Kobe Bryant is a 9-time All NBA first team defender. So Michael Jordan being all this defensive juggernaut is because of what people wanted. They wanted Michael Jordan to seem like he was the greatest defender, but when you look at how Michael Jordan played, he could not give his whole effort like other players because he had so much to do on the court. But in general, his ability, just like me and Johnny was saying, LeBron's ability is different. LeBron can do more defensively on the basketball court than someone who just strictly focuses on defense, like a Vanderbilt now for the Lakers, like because he doesn't have the responsibility like a LeBron or Michael Jordan. So defensive is just so damn subjective. Like we can't say that Michael Jordan would not have, if he only had to play defense, he would probably lock a lot of people down. He was the most athletic player, the most skilled defensive player, him and Scottie Pippen. But Scottie Pippen could do that. He didn't have the offensive responsibility as Michael Jordan. So that's why I said before, I wouldn't say Michael Jordan is an overrated defender. I would not say that because he had the ability. LeBron has the ability to guard 1 through 5, but can he do that on a night-to-night basis? No, he cannot do that because of his responsibilities on the court.
You could if you want to.
That was a good take, man. That was a good take.
I'm just sorry if LeBron James really didn't have to put as much effort as he had to put in as an all-around player, and just had to focus on guarding the secondary scoring option on a team and just fill up the bucket, he'd have put up 30 a night. Like, let's be real here. But like
And
again,
I'm
the
saying, I can
demand
say
of
if Jordan
LeBron
was
James,
6'9", 260, he don't
but he
got
had to
to
score the
around
basketball. He has to score, rebound, play defense. He's playing interior defense and perimeter defense. And he's being the point guard. Like
so, the 2 more assists and 1 more rebound means he did so much more.
He absolutely did.
Wait a minute, Craig. You've been talking stats all morning, and now you want to just discredit the stats.
What are you talking about?
I'm just saying. Listen, all right. I asked y'all to give me some moments that Michael Jordan shut somebody down, and it's sad that
he doesn't have any. He doesn't have any.
No, he does. This is why I'm the exposer, okay? And this is why we're GOAT James Kingdom, because we are objective people. We know when Michael Jordan shut people down. Jordan has shut down Joe Dumars several times. And we're talking about Joe Dumars being Joe Dumars, not the early Joe Dumars, not the 88 Joe Dumars. We're talking about 90 Joe Dumars, 91 Joe Dumars. We see Michael Jordan shut down Nick Anderson, which was a baller at one point. I've seen Michael Jordan lock people down, but I'm just saying statistically, we go to the stats, we can see Jordan literally take these guys and take them out of their game. Not just what he did like with the Clyde Drexler stuff, because I don't think he shut Clyde Drexler down. But there's times in Jordan that Jordan literally took his defender out of the game. They were no longer eligible to do anything. And those were 2 times that I can mention as far as prominent players. And you Jordan fans get that.
Nick Anderson was not a prominent player, but it's cool.
No, I'm just saying prominent as far as being known.
The same player he was after '95.
And that was,
he missed
again,
those 4 free throws. He was no longer the same player he was.
Well, he was good in '96, and Jordan shut him down in '96. So I'm just saying. We're gonna go to the stats. We're gonna go to the stats. We're gonna try to expose the exposer today, because I'm talking Jordan.
I mean, he
Nah,
wasn't
Johnny,
no longer the same
I
player.
you
mean,
six, man.
Nick
I already
Anderson, like
gave you
the
Oh
third
wait,
or
I
fourth
think
best player on the team.
no. Again, Jordan's not guarding the best player, right? He's
I'm
not going
just
to
saying,
guard.
like, I mean,
No,
he could shut down the third or fourth best player. That's anybody.
I'm just giving you the moments he did that. That's all I'm saying. I'm just giving you those moments, right? People that tell you Joe Dumars was a stud and all this other stuff, right? That's what. Again, they're using the eye test. I'm just helping them. That's just me helping
Joe
them.
Dumars, that was
I can take it back.
15?
I can take it back. Brandon said take it back. I'm gonna take it back.
Yeah, I want to see actually someone who he needed to stop.
Listen,
He didn't need to stop Nick Anderson to win that series.
I would love to see. I wish there was a way we could see Jordan chasing around Steph Curry for a whole
But
game.
we can't though.
We can't though.
I
That's
mean,
what I'm saying.
no,
I wish
he
they could.
could have did that to Reggie Miller, but he didn't want to guard Reggie Miller.
Jordan, yo, when we going against
I wish we could see him guard like a Devin Booker or a Jason Tatum or
We can't see that.
even
We can't see
Jaylen
that.
Brown.
Why-
Any of these
why-
dudes today.
Listen,
Jordan's
but
getting cooked today, bro.
Your point
There's
is
too
being
much.
made
There's
on
too much
something that we can
competition
never.
at the shooting guard
You're
position.
trying to prove your point on something we can never know.
But there's
Yeah, we
no,
will never
actually,
know
we
that.
do know that
We'll
there's
never
more
know that.
competition now at the shooting guard position than there
Yeah,
was
but we
back
don't.
then.
But we
know
don't
that.
know. But we
All
don't
we
know.
can
But
go
we
off
don't
is
know.
listen. All we can go off is what's.
I want to know what. Yeah, exactly. We want to know what Rasheed Wallace was talking about.
dominate.
That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to figure out what Rasheed Wallace was
Even
doing.
if you even if you said his competition was the worst ever in NBA history, he still dominated his competition.
Yeah, he was supposed to. You're supposed to.
No.
dominate that nigga. You're supposed to
Oh,
dominate
wait,
that mediocre
Aaron. This is what we're trying to say though. You can't just say he dominated his competition because we have yet to figure out where Jordan dominated on defense.
Bro,
Because he not gonna give you a
You
Because
chance.
ask Nick Anderson.
bro,
I'm trying to
even
help.
if
I'm
he
trying to help,
dominated
and I can't have it.
offensively,
I can't hit it.
He's a 9-time all NBA defensive first teamer. Even if you want to shit on that, you can't shit on that. You don't get that for no reason. A lot of
Nobody's
players
saying we're shitting on that.
Rajah Bells and all them, they're good. They're not 9 times. It's not a mistake.
I'm
Maybe
telling you,
once,
Rasheed
like Marcus
Wallace said that.
maybe
I'm telling you,
maybe the
Rasheed
Marcus
Wallace
LeBron
said
thing,
that.
but it don't happen 9
Rasheed
times.
Wallace says we're not counting all defensive
Rasheed
selections.
Wallace says LeBron
cannot
wouldn't
count
survive
that,
in the 80s and 90s. Do you believe him when he say that?
That's
Well,
hypothetical.
that's not true.
That's hypothetical.
He said
That's him being
no, he did.
hypothetically.
Well,
Everything.
Rasheed,
That's what your man is saying.
No, it's
no,
not.
Rasheed, that's not. He didn't
No,
say
he
that.
talking about Twin Man saying that hypothetical. Which is true.
That's
Now,
why
I know,
said,
and I said the same thing for the Twin
It is
Man.
not
That's why I said the same for
hypothetical
Twin Man.
that at the two guard position today, it is more competition at the two guard position today than it was back then. That's not
Yeah, but we don't know how Jordan
But
would
we
do.
don't know
But
how
we don't know how
Jordan would do against
We don't know how Jordan would do against them.
I mean,
that's it. That's all.
We pretend like we don't know what Jordan would do.
But
But when
we
we
know.
actually
We'll never
We
know,
know.
though.
because when we
know.
actually see him
We'll
guard
never
the
know,
Jamal
though. We can't win the
Mashburn type
argument
of
if we say
players,
Mike
we
Tyson
get
knocked
the
out Ali.
example
We'll never know
of
that.
what Jordan would have did. When you get him guarding
And you can,
Kenny
if you want to
Hardaway
use that on the
and Grant
defensive
Hill,
side, do it
you
on the
actually get to
offense.
see the examples of what today's players be.
And
And you saw what happened.
And if you want to use that logic, do the
we don't know
offensive
what he would
too.
do
Do the
against
offensive
them.
side
but
too. If you want to use that logic about what
What's
he
the
do on the
opposite side?
defensive side,
What's
then
the
use
opposite
that
side?
logic for the offense.
The opposite side of LeBron James is 6'9", 260, right? So the opposite side is Karl Malone, the person who was second all time in scoring in NBA history before LeBron became number one. That's the opposite side.
What?
Well, I do want to say this. I do want to say this though. To get back on defense. Because so far, I mean, I don't know why Jordan fans try to like make it about offense when it's about defense, right? I want to say this once again. No matter how many defensive teams you win, no matter what defensive accolade that you get voted for to win, that is not an accurate depiction of how the player played defensively. And that was the primary premise of Rasheed Wallace' take. Outside of that clip, he was alluding to the fact that defense isn't just. He was saying Jordan got cooked on a one-on-one in that clip, but after that clip, he was also saying defense isn't just what you do on the on ball, it's also what you do on the off ball. And while I look at the guy was interviewing said the same thing. I think my fault. I forgot about his name, but the dude who just said, "Oh, he's a 9-time all defensive team." How can you say this? You're like, man, we understand that's the machine that pushed Jordan. Anybody can win those accolades. Well, I'm talking about what the film show. That's what she said. What the film show, Jordan gambled a lot. What the film show, Jordan wasn't good at recovering from his left to right laterally. What the film showed, that he was more great off ball than he was on ball. So regardless of the DPOYs, regardless of the all defensive team, that was the film shows. And
That's what it's.
just because you got more all defensive teams than a player, don't make you a better defender. I don't
That's
know
what
what
it.
logic is that.
Bro,
That's
you're
what. That's
ignoring,
what.
like
That's what.
you're
No,
ignoring,
Aaron,
you're ignoring all the things that make you a defender.
Aaron. We're not ignoring. You just heard the man say the 9 all defensive selections are being thrown aside. That is what Rasheed Wallace is telling us. That beyond that, all that is telling us is that Jordan was a top defender in his era. But does that mean Jordan was one of the greatest defenders of all time because he was a top defender of his era?
All right. So stay right there. Stay with me. So you take his era. You take what he did in his era. He dominated that defensively, right? Like you said. So now, whoever
I didn't say dominate. I just said that he won the awards that made him an all-defensive first team for 9 years.
Okay, so that's in his era. So now, what you do, you take his 9 or whatever you want to call it, and you compare that to you compare that to LeBron's whatever, right?
Not LeBron. Why you went to LeBron? Compare it to Kobe, who has 12. Compare it to Chris Paul, who has 9. Compare it to other people who have 9 or 11 and 15.
By Johnny, just keep it to the 1900s. Compared to Scottie Pippen, what, 8 or 6?
10. Scottie Pippen has 10,
No,
and Scottie Pippen has 9 in the 90s.
At the shooting guard position, let's keep it at the shooting guard position now.
Or 8 in the 90s, I believe. No, but that's the whole point. That's why he said put that aside, because in his mind, again, we're talking about what Rasheed Wallace is stating, that and by the film and by that, Jordan was not that great of a defender. He's seen game plans where people was not worried about going up against Jordan defensively. Like they knew they were going to get theirs against Jordan. You see what I'm trying to say? Like that was what he was trying to emphasize. Now, what Sturdy is saying is that he also doubles down and saying that Jordan wasn't a good help defender. Now, we all were sitting here saying that Jordan was a great help defender. Like he off the ball, he did take a lot of risks. Now, is that what makes him a bad help defender? That he took a lot of risks? That sometimes, you know what I'm saying, he left his teammates hanging dry because he went to go take a steal that he couldn't go get? You see what I'm saying? Is that what he's talking about? But that was the whole conversation. Let's let Ralph get in here because I know Ralph's been wanting to get in. Put the link up because Lamont wants to join. Ralph, they're eating Jordan alive, man. You got to save him.
Well, I mean, I feel like later part of that second three-peat, yes, you can scrutinize a little bit towards his perimeter defense to where he was solely focusing on offense to where he had a better defensive team to where, even when he gambled on the defensive end, like what Sturdy was saying, they would actually rotate to where Jordan would rotate on the whoever rotated when Jordan gambled, he would rotate on the player that he guarded. So I mean, that I wanted to just address that gambling part on the defensive end.
Okay, all right. I mean, again, we know Jordan gambled a lot. From the Jordan,
we know he loved to gamble.
Yeah, no, from the Jordan rules book, B.J. Armstrong stated he used to get in trouble with Phil Jackson because Jordan used to want to get that offensive rebound on free throws, but it was his job to be up close, but Jordan used to tell him play back because Jordan was going to go for the offensive rebound, and he used to get in trouble because Phil Jackson used to be like, yo, you got to get up. Why are you going back? But he was doing what Jordan told him to do, which was, yo, play my position, play back, because I'm about to go get the offensive rebound. So again, you're right, Jordan would always get somebody to substitute his position when he was taking those risks, but we know he was still taking those risks, which made him a great defender because he got a lot of steals that way. But again, we were told Jordan was overrated because we got one person who said he's top 5. FYF is here. Lamont, peace, Lamont. Well, you've been dealing with Jordan fans a lot. Where do you think they have Jordan rated all time as far as Jordan fans, all time perimeter defender?
Jordan not top 10.
No, but where do his fans have him? Where
haven't won blindly.
What is the perception? What's the basketball perception of Michael Jordan's defense?
The perception was that he was this combination of Kawhi Leonard, Scottie Pippen, Gary Payton, and Hakeem Olajuwon in his prime. That's the perception. Everybody says this eye test. He was such a great defender. Okay, and I compel people. All right, because I always tell people, since it's the eye test, let's pull up the film. And I want people, and I do it one time on my channel. I do it at a time. Pull up the film. of 1991 when Jordan was guarding Magic. Jordan was getting barbecued by Magic. Magic put Jordan in foul trouble. That's why they had to put Scottie Pippen on Magic Johnson, because Magic Johnson was barbecuing him. He was taking him into the post, treating him like a little boy, scoring at will. But nobody talk about that. When you look at Jordan's defense, Rasheed Wallace was right. And how does Jordan be first team All NBA in 96, 97, 98? I want you guys to explain that to me. He was not a top defender in 96. He was not a top defender in 97. He was not a top defender in 98. He's first team All NBA on defense. I want y'all to explain to me how, if what Rasheed Wallace was saying is a lie. They just wanted to put Jordan at the top of these lists. When you look at any analytical metric you look at with regards to defense, defensive box plus minus, defensive rating, I don't care which one you want to go use. Jordan is not top 20 in any of them. But what you also find in those is you also find the best defenders. So there's no anomalies. There's no accidents. Allen Iverson, just because he led the league in steals, he's not going to creep his way into the top of any of these defensive metrics or analytical lists. So again, these lists, these analytical measurements that tell you who the best defenders are, they're usually pretty accurate.
Well,
Jordan's not topping any of them. The only thing Jordan did was lead the league in steals. Outside of that, there's nothing. When you guys say gamble on defense, you guys got to understand gambling on defense is one of the worst defensive habits you can have. It makes you a bad defender alone. It compromises the integrity of any team defense. You cannot be connected. So when people say guys had to rotate over and help Jordan, that's a bad thing. When you overplay, create a big hole or gap in your defense, they have to rotate over to help you. That's a big hole. And so that tells you two things. If he's able to gamble and teams aren't able to exploit that, you're dealing with a lot of subpar offensive teams that could not exploit it. So that just tells you how bad offensively the teams were in the 90s, which I haven't mentioned as well. This defense is just a myth that people, like I told you, to keep him as the GOAT, people create narratives about him because they know most people don't go back and watch real film and not going to do no real film breakdown on it. So they just say he was a good perimeter defender. They'll say he was clamping down people of the 90s. But the film don't support these things. You just go pull up any random game of the 90s. I don't care. That way there's no bias. Just type in Google Bulls versus Celtics regular seasons, just any regular game. I don't care what years in his prime. And I want you to go watch.
Go ahead,
Ralph.
So in '96, actually, that was wrong because he was second in the league in defensive win shares, and he was.
I'm talking about career. I'm talking about career, not season.
I'm addressing like when you said '96, he doesn't have the defensive metric, which is not true because
you said defensive win shares. Why did you say?
I wasn't done. That's why.
Why did you use win shares? I'm gonna ask you that.
Hold on. Let him go, Lamont.
You're the best team in the league.
Lamont, let him go.
You said defensive metrics, so
I said defensive box plus minus defensive rating, which is your individual. Defensive win shares is team. That's why you went to. That's why you went to the win shares.
Hold on, Lamont.
But the thing is, Lamont,
just let him finish.
Tell me why he's a good defender.
Lamont, let him finish.
Lamont, you keep on cutting me off. I was going to go to defensive box, but I was going to go to defensive box plus. I was going to go to defensive box plus minus as well, which was fifth in the league as well.
That year?
So, yeah, he was.
Okay. So what made him in 96, 97, and 98 the best perimeter defender in NBA?
Well, those two metrics alone in itself,
they weren't using that metric in 96, 97, and 98.
Hold on. But before y'all go back and forth, now you got to understand this, Lamont. Ralph doesn't have Jordan as the greatest defender of all time. He has him top 10 in the perimeter. And Ralph actually agrees with you that between 96, 97, and 98, Jordan wasn't that elite of a defender. So before you try to go in on Ralph just wanted to... You understand what I'm trying to say? So before you, but you can go, Ralph.
I'm not going in on him. I'm just saying.
Just go ahead
and let Ralph finish first.
Go ahead, Ralph. Go ahead, Ralph.
Well, what I was saying is that, in defensive box plus minus, he was top 5 in the league as well. So, like to say that, he doesn't have that measurement of being the best defender on first team. I mean, with those two right there, I'm looking at the defensive rating, which he was 18th in the league as well. So I mean, with those three, with the defensive rating, box plus, defensive box plus minus, and defensive win shares, he has the argument to state that he was first team.
Now again,
Okay.
hold on. Go ahead, Brandon.
Oh yeah, John. Okay, so
No.
okay. Let me just jump in real quick. So Ralph, you're talking about a defensive analytic that only relates to your teammates. So the Bulls had the best defensive team in the league. So Michael Jordan, of course, his defensive analytics is going to be high because those are team stats. Just like when Marc Gasol won Defensive Player of the Year, because of those analytics was included into what his team did. Marc Gasol wasn't the best defender on his team, but while he was on the court and he was playing with those teammates, his defensive analytics was very high. So that's just what I want to say about why his box plus or minus and defensive win share was so
Well,
high, because that's a team analytic.
well, he actually led his team in those as well. I think. Well, defensive win shares, he was second on his team. Defensive box plus minus, he led his team, and defensive rating, if I'm served correctly, he also led his team. So like that. Well, he was second on his team, I believe.
Yeah,
So
but again,
with
hold on,
that being said, like
go ahead, I'm
that,
sorry. Go ahead.
that is a very argument where he deserved that.
Okay, but again, you guys got to remember this. You guys, hold on, wait. First of all, we got to remember this. 1996, there was no analytic like this to talk about Michael Jordan's defense. So let's just do this. Because in 1996, the all-defensive team was Michael Jordan and Gary Payton as the starting guards for the first team. The second team had Mookie Blaylock and Derek McKee and Bobby Fields. Bobby Fields was a guard, if I'm correct?
Yeah, he was real good on the defense.
That is the anonymous player or odd player mention of the day, because I didn't even know we was going to ever find Bobby Fields. I remember Bobby Fields.
Bobby Fields played for Cleveland, right?
Yeah, he played for Cleveland.
And he went to Charlotte and got killed in a car accident with David West.
Okay, so the question is this. In 1996, were there really better perimeter players than Michael Jordan that could have made the all-defensive first team?
I think Aaron McKee should have been first team.
Derek McKee?
Aaron McKee.
Grant Hill was the best player that year.
Get the stats up.
Aaron McKee.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Derek McKee made the all-defensive team second team. Mookie Blaylock made the second team. Gary Payton, we all would agree, would be first team.
Forward.
He was a forward? All right, so then it would be
Derek McKee was.
So it would be Mookie Blaylock and Bobby Fields?
Yeah. Mookie Blaylock and Gary Payton.
So, all right, Lamont, the question is this. Is with the film study, are there better defenders on the perimeter than Michael Jordan in 96 to be an all-defensive first-team player?
There are a lot of better perimeter defenders than Michael Jordan. Remember, he was, it's like he was getting the effect. It was the Steph Curry effect. It was when the year. If you guys remember back to the year when the Warriors were the best defensive team in the league, Steph Curry was top 10 in defensive rating, top 10 in defensive box minus. And this was the year where everybody was saying, "Wow, Steph Curry's just this much improved defender. Man, he really stepped up his game on defense." No, he's still Steph Curry on defense. It's just he's on a great defensive team. And he gets the benefits of being on a great defensive team because he plays so many minutes on the floor with that great defensive unit. And so that's why I say you have to use the analytics. And I use their career analytics. And then you have to use a lot of film to support these things, because nobody in today's game is going to use analytics to put Steph Curry on anybody's all NBA defensive team, because they would get laughed at. But they could get away with it in Jordan because of the lack of film, the lack of visibility, because of the fandom around Michael Jordan. People could just, you could just throw a name on there that you want on there and you could just get away with it, because nobody was going to argue with Jordan being a good defender. And then people could add all these extra nuances and narratives in these terms that don't really support it. When Jordan's post defense was poor, Jordan's perimeter defense when he gambled was poor most of the time. Those are two, especially the gambling, that's a horrible defensive trait. I don't see how that equates to an all-time great defender when you have traits and when you have weaknesses on the defensive end that get you exploited on a night in and night out basis. And then this is not me. Like I said, pull up any random game in the 90s and we will watch Jordan get barbecued. And I don't care. I'm not telling you a game to choose. I'm not telling you what game to choose. I said go select a random game. This is what I did. I went through like 15 different games and all I saw was Scottie Pippen being a life raft to Michael Jordan's defensive mistakes, a life raft. And then I saw Guys like Scottie Pippen playing the real defense, getting hands on ball, tip passes. Jordan being the cleanup man, just like Iverson and Steph Curry, getting the steals. So he's the recipient of it. And he's going other the way, getting the flashy dunk, and everybody's saying, "Oh wow, Jordan played great defense there. He got the steal and the dunk." So just watch the film. I'm not saying this. Just watch the film.
I got a question.
Ralph.
When was Steph Curry ever top 10 in defensive win shares on block plus minus?
No, I said there was a portion of time in the year, because obviously that year that I'm talking about, their defense had fell off. But they were like over halfway through the season, and everybody was clamoring about Steph Curry's defense, because when you go to all the defensive analytics, and I'm talking about this was around like January or February of that year, and Steph Curry found himself top 10 in all these defensive ratings, and everybody was saying, wow, his defense has just improved, when he was just really the recipient of a great defensive team around him. We all know Steph Curry's defense just doesn't improve overnight like that. He is who he is on the defensive end, and he's just. No, he obviously they didn't finish it. They didn't finish the season that way because their defense fell off. I think Draymond Green ended up getting hurt, and their team defense fell off. But then when the real defender, when your team defense falls off, all those analytics go in the garbage can. The Bulls defense never fell off. They didn't have significant injuries, and that's why. But go look at the Bulls defensive rating when Scottie Pippen was hurt.
Stephen Curry's defensive box plus minus in 2016 was 13th in the NBA.
That's still kind of high.
Again, they never use these metrics. This is all brand news. They
didn't use it in the 90s.
They didn't use this in the 90s. Let me see if I can find something.
Yeah, the 90s they use all defensive teams, and of course Michael Jordan.
And they use steals.
They use
steals for guards, because if you look at 1996, the Mookie Blaylock, Michael Jordan, Gary Payton were top 3 in steals per game in 1996. In 1997, Michael Jordan made the All-NBA first team, same thing as Gary Payton, but also Mookie Blaylock made the team again as the second team player, but John Stockton is the other guard. So I'm still trying to figure out, Lamont, you've been dropping some knowledge, you've been emptying clips out here, but I'm going to come at you. Where are these other defenders that are better than Jordan in the 90s? In at least 96, 97, and 98. Who can we go to that deserves to be ahead of Jordan as the first team?
It's all going to be based on just pure eye test, because they didn't
give me the one with the eye test.
Okay, so I'm going to go with guys like Grant Hill, Nate McMillan, Stacey Augmon. These are the guys. These are the guys that are just Scottie Pippen by far is not even close.
Well, no,
you have Deshaun Elliott.
It has to be guard, because that's how come he made it. That's
what
I'm trying to explain.
I'm only talking about the people. I'm naming people that guarded on the perimeter. A lot of these guys guarded on the perimeter. In the 90s at the point guard position, because a lot of the guards were so small, you were going to find a lot of bad defenders on the perimeter. Gary Payton was a good defender. I don't have him spotted as this all-time great defender like a lot of people say. Gary Payton was another guy where the myth got attached to him as well because of the steals. But he was small. He would get barbecued, and so
because again, we're trying to figure this out. Again, it is about the eye test, and I agree with you. That's the whole Rasheed Wallace comment. It is the eye test, but the idea of Jordan getting the 9 first teams is where I'm coming at, because now 97 it gets weird. Because Jordan goes from being 3rd in steals per game in 96 to being 18th in 97.
And he's still first team.
And he was still first team. So you had guys that, in his position, you had guys like Doug Christie, Eddie Jones getting more steals than him.
Doug Christie was a better defender.
You had Hersey Hawkins and Kerry Kittles getting more steals than Michael Jordan in 1997. So, and then in other guards that besides Mookie Blaylock and Gary Payton, go ahead, John.
Who was second team all defense that year, 97?
It was Mookie Blaylock and
first team.
It was Mookie Blaylock. It was Mookie Blaylock and John Stockton. So the 2 point.
Now you had your answer. Who should have actually been first team?
Jordan was the only shooting guard to make the all defensive team in 97, and he was also he wasn't the only one.
Hey Johnny, look at the defensive team list. If there was ever a year where there was just another point guard that was just clear cut, it just seemed like, because it almost looks as if on some of these teams where they were wanting to squeeze Jordan in at the point or the shooting guard, wherever they could squeeze him in.
Well, no, the all defensive team and all NBA team was never by shooting guard or point guard. It's just guards.
It's all guards.
You can have 2 point guards or 2 shooting guards.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not.
Okay,
So what I'm saying is, they always found a way to squeeze him in because of that. They because of that guard issue. That's why I wish it was based on position, because then they wouldn't be able to play with it. Because there were some times where like in years where Joe Dumars was a clear-cut best defender, they would still try to squeeze Jordan in with Joe Dumars, right?
I mean, it's the media. It's the media. Like the media voted Michael Jordan MVP and gave him all NBA teams when he played 17 games in '95. So the media is going to put Jordan there anyways, as well.
I don't see it.
Let H from UK get in. He asked to chime in.
Yeah, blessings. Bless up, Lamont.
What up, H?
Yeah, man. You already know I like you, man, but at this one, I gotta say, man, you're playing flip flop like Ronaldinho today, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Playing flip flop. First of all, you use the box score as your standard at first, and then when I think what Ralph was saying was that when he checked the box score, it didn't match up with what you were saying. It actually contradicted.
Exactly. That's not. He used a different thing. I used career.
Yeah,
he used season. He used the box score in one individual season. I used it for the whole career.
Okay, so when we use career,
defensive rating and defensive box plus minus.
Okay. So when we use career, Mark Eaton for box score is top 3. Would you say Mark Eaton's a better defender than Michael Jordan?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, because see, I'm not going to go off name. Mark Eaton was a better defender.
Besides Lamont and Brandon, who else here thinks Jordan's not in the top 10 all time?
I don't think he's top 10 all time defense.
So that's John. What about you, Twin Man? Is Jordan top 10 all time? Perimeter defender.
We're talking all time. No.
Perimeter. No.
We talking about perimeter.
Perimeter. No. Perimeter.
How about you, Sturdy?
Maybe
no?
Not top 10, but not top 10. But to be fair to Jordan, I'm still doing my research to rank my top 25. But I don't think he's top 10 anymore.
So when we go off the box,
I'm heading that way too. Is top, angling him top 25.
Wow.
So what it is, H. We're like, here's the real thing, right? Here's the thing. No.
I want to finish my point.
No, you're right.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, H. I'm sorry.
So when we go off that logic, what Lamont put first, anyway, if you removed all centers out, anyway, Jordan would be top 10 of just box score career. If you remove all centers and power forwards and forwards, if you just just perimeter defenders, using that hypothesis what Lamont has put forward, Jordan would be top 10 based off that. I personally, I'm in agreement with what everyone said. I came on first and I stated just because of the markability, they put Jordan as the face and they put him and gave him all the accolades. I'm in agreement. However, once you've put that analogy, it kind of pushes Jordan. It kind of gives him credence to, yeah, he was actually a top 10 defender. I personally have him top 10 to top 15. But to say he's not even top 20, that's a bit harsh. But using your hypothesis,
that's crazy. No,
whoa, H. To be fair, H. No, I know. I was here. I'm just saying, you can't just take. He said 3 things. H. He said a combination of 3 things. He said career blocks plus minus, career defensive rating, and the film. Because I was going to say, no matter what era or a stats available, the film shows, especially defensive side, who's the better defender.
Okay, now I'm just gonna say something. If you have unconscious bias and everybody has it, you will just focus on the mistakes Jordan's making. You won't focus on the right reads. You're just focused on the mistakes. Everyone has unconscious bias. Kenny Smith, and I believe him as a good analytical mind. He said when Jordan first came in that he was not a good defender. Then he said when he got to the pinnacle of his career, what made Michael Jordan a great defender or even a great player, because he was the first technical athlete. He did everything correct on the defensive end. When he was jumping passing lanes, he done it with the right arm. When he was cutting off screens, he done it at the right angle. This is one of the best, I would say, the best basketball analytical minds on a TV standpoint. If he can say that, then at the end of the day, everyone else is kind of subjected. And Kenny Smith, at the end of the day, he's been very unbiased with his takes, but everyone has unconscious bias, is what I'm trying to say. So
not with Jordan though. Hold on, H. No. Kenny Smith has a bias with Jordan because of the UNC connection. They're both in North Carolina. Yeah. They have a serious bias. But again, you made some great points because again, this is the whole point of the show. And Brandon and I always love doing this because if you take the stats, Jordan's a top 10 defender perimeter all time and top 5. If you really want to take the stats. But that's the thing. Michael Jordan fans don't use the stats. It's about the eye test. And so far, Lamont said that he has film and he has challenged Jordan fans to bring up any game of the 90s they want to help him understand Jordan's perimeter defense to be top 10. I'm going to accept that challenge, Lamont. I'm going to come on your show. I'm coming on your show. And I'm going to take one for the team, Craig. And
we only use the 90s to say he was a great defender all-time career.
No.
What are you going to do in the 80s? Against who? What are you going to do in the 80s? What are you going to do in the 80s?
No, it's
8 years in the 90s.
It's for his career. It's for no. And Craig, I said this earlier. No, Craig, I said this earlier. It's for his. And we kind of all said it. It's for his career, and it's for his career. And for his career, it's not a knock. It's not a knock against. It's not a knock against Jordan. I don't know why Jordan fans take it this way. It's not a knock against them. No, I'm saying.
He said pick any game in the 90s, and then he also said I use career.
Well, Craig, you couldn't give us no games at all. He said the 90s. We asked y'all. We've been asking y'all all day. We've been going 2 hours, and I was the only one who brought up something, and Ralph brought up something, and y'all kicked us to the curb with those games and those playoff series. Y'all ain't give us nothing about Michael Jordan defensively. All we got is the steal, and he's a two-way player. That's all we got.
He's not a two-way player.
Well, I'm just saying that's all we got. That's all they gave us.
Better than Kobe.
He's better than Kobe.
I mean, he's not.
Kobe got 12. Kobe got 12 all defensive selections and 9 first teams. Jordan ain't got that.
And that's why we gotta in general to educate the basketball community. I think a lot of people don't know how. I don't think a lot of people when they watch people on defense, they don't know what determines a great perimeter defender. I just think they try to focus on he gets that steal or he gets scored on. In reality, in basketball, you're playing more off ball than you do on ball. So what you do off ball has a more higher value than what you become on ball. And most importantly, what is your defensive scheme of your team? If you're not predicating or being disciplined in that aspect, that affects your ranking as the all-time defender.
Now I'm going to challenge you that. I'm going to challenge you that.
We're going to get on that. We're going to have some fun. Shout out to everybody in the comments.
Can I just say something? Sorry for interrupting the show.
Hold on. I'm going to give you a chance. Shout out to everybody in the comments. We see you guys are having fun. You guys are stating Michael Jordan's great. Some are saying Jordan's not great. Again, we're asking you to prove it to us. So y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for joining us. We are the GOAT James Kingdom platform. I am A. Johnny. We have Brandon here. We are the 2 hosts here running it. Thanks for the panelists for showing up. You guys are doing a great job as well. But Jordan fans, you guys are not holding up here. So we're gonna let H speak because H seems to be objective for Jordan. What you got for Jordan, H?
I've got something for sturdy. You just mentioned about defense and say most of the defense is played off ball, which I agree. So why is Kawhi a better defender than Michael Jordan? Because Kawhi is not a good off ball defender. He's average.
No, so for Kawhi instance, right? When he was the problem with Kawhi is when he wasn't having that much of a scoring load, he actually did play well off ball, especially with the San Antonio Spurs. The thing is when he got more offensive responsibility, that's when he decided to become lesser off ball. So when I say Kawhi's a better,
off ball defender.
No. Kawhi, in my opinion, this where my opinion comes in. In my opinion, Kawhi is the best on ball defender I've ever seen on the perimeter. That's just my opinion. But then we take the fact that when he doesn't have the offensive scoring responsibility, he's proven to have excellent off ball defense. So when I say he's better defender than Jordan, I'm saying that under the vacuum of when he was asked to be that defender. Because like I said earlier, when we all know the more offensive responsibility you get as a player, the less energy you're going to put on defense for most players.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what Brandon stated,
I
right?
mean,
Brandon said
yeah,
the same
yeah,
thing, right?
yeah.
So how
That's
is he
why
overrated?
Kawhi Leonard's two-time defensive player of the
Who
year.
offensive load
No,
like Jordan?
no, but you basically said the same thing about Jordan. You said if Jordan
Yes.
had the non-responsibility at one point where all he had to do was just play defense, Jordan probably would have been a great lockdown defender. Correct? That's what you stated, right, Brandon?
Probably, but
Yeah,
then again,
yeah. If he
it
had
comes.
the ability to
Yeah,
do it.
Yeah,
probably, but then again, the problem when there was moments even on the Dream Team when there was moments where he even asked to have that much score load, similar to what Lamont is saying, he had bad defensive habits.
Well, I think you can. So remember, there weren't a lot of players that Jordan could just get matched up on, and we could really test his defensive acumen at his position, right? So I want you to go look at almost any playoff series where the shooting guard was a legitimate offensive weapon, and go watch his defensive rating skyrocket, like when he played the Pacers in that tough series.
Yeah.
Defensive rating skyrockets to I think like 112. All right, when he had to go up against Dan Marley. Dan Marley, I think might have been an All-Star that year. I can't remember. I don't think he was.
Yeah,
he was playing really good.
He
played against Dan Marley. Defensive rating skyrockets. It was like over, I think it was 115. See, when he was actually faced with a defensive assignment where these guys could actually go get buckets, because Marley was a scorer, Reggie Miller was just a pure scorer, gonna go try to get buckets. We saw him, as far as the analytics go, struggle. And that's what the numbers will show. But in most cases, there were no teams that could put a force on the floor that would challenge him. And he could get away with being a poor defender with bad defensive tendencies.
But the thing is, Jordan didn't guard Reggie in those playoff series. He guarded Chris Mullin. Ron Harper chased him around.
It's just the offensive weapons are on the floor. Mm-hmm. And that Pacer team, as Jordan said, was his toughest challenge. When you put those weapons on the floor, obviously he couldn't guard Mark Jackson. Pippen had to take that up.
Pippen had to guard Mark Jackson.
His defensive rating was extremely higher than normal when you get those weapons on the floor. It's just the 90s, just one of those eras where it lacked the weapons from the perimeter to challenge him on a night in and night out basis. Guys like Rex Chapman, when they decided to go at him, they could light him up. You could go even David Stoudemire in his rookie year. Look what he did to Jordan. When guys went at Jordan, they got buckets with no stoppage whatsoever. Penny Hardaway took Jordan to the post, treated him like a little boy whenever he wanted to. Magic Johnson did the same. Pooh Richardson did the same thing. All these guys did the same thing with Jordan.
Excellent.
So I mean, I don't get it.
Drexler. Hey, don't bring up Drexler. Don't bring up Drexler. They get mad when you bring up Drexler.
Can I say something sturdy?
Yeah, go on.
When the guy has said that Kawhi was off ball weaker, I agree with you that he was better in San Antonio. I believe his responsibilities became different when he became a Clipper. I think
Raptors,
PG played most of the roaming, and Kawhi stayed with his guy more, and he didn't play the roamer more. So it makes him look like a weaker off-ball defender, but he actually wasn't. He just had a different responsibility.
Yeah, he's injured.
No, Craig, not Craig and John. No, King John. I have to push back against that because when he was healthy, Craig, he was doing horrible defensive habits. So actually, it was the opposite of what you said, John. When he got to the Clippers, so defensively, PG came more so on that on ball defender, and Kawhi became the roamer because he's more strong and more longer. The problem is Kawhi was giving up baseline cuts. He was losing position. Even when they were trying to give him breaks, King John, before he can save him offensively, just guard the corner man, he would lose sight of his corner man. We saw in the Mavs series, and we definitely saw it a lot in the Nuggets series. He wouldn't communicate some of the baseline reads, and also from his pick and roll coverage, he used to always mess up his rotations in terms of bumping the low man and recovering. He did that a lot on the off ball. So it's not.
But you know what?
You taking Pat Bear about that situation.
Doc Rivers for
No, but we gotta be
Pat Bear
honest
was
though.
the
No, we
off-ball
gotta
defender.
no, but we gotta be honest now. Off ball defensive now is way harder. You have to cover way much more space.
Yeah, you do.
There's way much more weak side action in today's NBA than there ever was. Jordan's era, you was on the weak side defensively. You didn't have to worry about much. You could just stand there and watch the action happen on the other side of the floor. So it is harder for Kawhi Leonard and guys to play off ball.
Hey Johnny, I'm talking about I'm talking about basic fundamental basketball defensive principles. There's no reason why you should give a baseline cut, open baseline cut. He did that numerous times. That's in any system in any era. That's horrible. That's horrible off-ball defense.
No, I got
you.
In any era
back then, he could back then.
And I think
I'm talking about for the Clippers. I'm talking about for the Clippers. I'm talking about for the
Oh, you
Clippers.
talking about Kawhi now? Oh, okay.
Yeah, but again,
Yeah, I'm talking for the Clippers.
We all know defense takes effort, right? And like you said, if you know you got to exert some energy on offense, right? Because you have to score. They're asking you to score. You're demanded to score. These guys need their contracts, so scoring helps them get the All-Star team and the All-NBA team. So scoring is important to them as well. So we know we have to exert some energy there. So sometimes they might lapse on defense, especially and again, that's what makes today NBA so hard, because now you got guys who can do those cuts and score it all the time. We got smart guys seeing Kawhi Leonard's not paying attention right now. Let me get this quick cut in. You see what I'm trying to say? So there's a lot of, it's just harder to play defense nowadays. So I again, it's hard to compare the eras, and that's why I'm saying that. But we're gonna take your challenge, FYF. I got you, Lamar. I'm standing up for Jordan fans. Jordan was a great defender in the 90s. I'm coming through.
But as I've seen in my film study, when like there's been people that say these certain guys are good or bad defenders, and what I'll do is I'll pull up the film and I say, I want you to break it down. One thing you see very quickly is a lot of people don't know what defense is. They don't know how to explain when a guy is out of position on the weak side, when he does something on the strong side that he's not supposed to do and he collapses his defense. They don't know how to pick up on that. So there's going to be a lot of plays where a lot of people just look at it and just give them passes on it because they don't see what Jordan did wrong, because he might not be involved in the primary action. So that's what I say. You got to go into it with a strong understanding of what legitimate team defense is.
Don't do that, Lamar. Don't do. I'm not a lot of people.
No, I'm not talking about you.
I know, but I'm coming.
I'm not talking about you per se.
We're gonna do 1995. We're gonna do 19. We're gonna do 1996.
Yeah, you don't want to do 95. Don't do 95.
We're gonna do 1996 Orlando Magic series. We're gonna do Michael Jordan, Garden, Nick Anderson the whole time, and we're gonna see how great Jordan was. So that's what I'm coming with, because I'm not a lot of people. I'm a Johnny. I'm coming to help Jordan fans because they can't do it. They need me. I'm coming to be your savior, guys.
You can supposedly, you can take. I can get a Jordan fan to tell me his best defensive game ever and use that as film, and I can tell you why he played bad defense the majority of that particular game. You can give me his best defensive game.
Oh, we're gonna have fun, Lamar.
I can take his best and break it down.
We're gonna have some fun, Lamar. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna do that. So
Lamar, they won't give you a game.
That's
all. Give you a game.
So
you got to come up with the game yourself. Because we asked the one guy, what was the one time, and he couldn't give you none. Then he asked what was LeBron's one time he got cooked. He gave you a name right away.
Yeah.
So, Well, first of all, we know Aaron never watched no Michael Jordan. That we already know that he's never saw the 90s. So he tried because Ralph and Craig was slipping over here, which is Ralph and Craig's job.
Well, you can't blame me. I just joined the chat a little later, and I already gave you an answer.
All right, so we about to get up out of here. Before we get any last words in, just to let you guys know, in '98, the other two guys that made the All Defensive team besides Michael Jordan and Gary Payton was obviously Mookie Blaylock again. And this time Eddie Jones made it. But in steals department, Jordan was 16th in steals. And as far as shooting guard wise, there was Doug Christie, there was Eddie Jones, there was Clyde Drexler in '98. For some reason, had a lot of steals. And you had Hersey Hawkins, who were ahead of Jordan. And there was a slew of point guards ahead of Jordan that had more steals per game in '98. So Jordan was still there. So any last words, Brandon, before we get up out of here?
I know most people only been watching basketball the last like 3 or 4 years, and that's how they relate things with basketball. That's how they think LeBron played defense in his prime. That's how they think how Kawhi played defense, but they don't, and they just go off of narratives with Michael Jordan. So that's why they're so clueless, and they don't really know what's going on. we can go ahead and end the show.
Some of them don't even watch they basically base all of this off of the 2000s because most of these guys never watched the 90s, nor do they watch today's NBA. Craig, any last words, brother?
Listen, y'all the ones going head over heels over this. Listen, y'all, not me. Like, I said what I said, y'all. I never said he was the greatest defender. I never called him top 5 defender. Y'all just take narratives and myths of people who y'all wish said these things and use that as fuel. Y'all just as bad as Jordan. Y'all take imaginary and fuel it to hate that man.
But
y'all worse than Jordan with
that. Is he the greatest two-way player ever, Craig?
He's one of.
You ain't going there.
Well, first off,
y'all all said it yourself. The energy you put on defense, you put on offense too. You gotta realize the man was playing 82 games.
Yeah, that's why I got him number 3 all time on my list. But listen, just to let you know, the Rasheed Wallace post on our IG, which we rarely get viral on IG, has gone over 70,000 views. So it's obvious it's not just what we're not the only ones clamoring over this. Michael Jordan fans are upset. Even Young Miami made a post about this. That's how upsetting they are. If you know Young Miami makes a post
my God.
it's very upsetting. It's upsetting. So Ralph, any last words, brother?
Hey man, great show. I mean, salutes. Great topic.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
We talk about the 65 game thing.
Twin Man, you got any last words, brother?
Just again, it's just, but I like how y'all just tear down narratives and this over here. Like it's just too much. Like let the man play like 100 years ago. At this point, he's not the GOAT no more. Move on with life. It's over. I know you Jordan like it, but
hell no.
GOAT is LeBron James. You need to let it go. Eat your bowl of tapioca and let it go. It is okay.
All right, Sturdy, you got any last words before we get up out of here, brother?
All defensive teams not the only metric of who determine who's a better defender. And John Stockton not the top 5 point guard. That's the only thing I got to say.
Boo! That guy Sturdy. Boo! King John, any last words?
I want to ask him before everybody go.
I want to say something to Lamont. Hey, Lamont, I love the breakdown when the guy was talking about doubling Jordan at the 3-point line, and you went right to the film and showed that Jordan never got double teamed at the 3-point line. It was just, I was in the chat laughing so hard. It was just so funny. But I love that breakdown, and he did exactly what he said today. He said any game. He just pulled up any game and showed it, and it was just. I love that breakdown. So I just want to say that to Lamont.
Appreciate it.
Who said that?
Trust me, you got to check out FYF Sports Debates.
Now I watch a show and I really like it a lot. Who said Jordan got double at the 3? He'd never know.
Yo, Ralph, you don't even want to know.
I can see him saying the mid range, but I mean 3-point line. No.
Lamont, we're gonna let you get the last take, but go ahead. H from UK, your last words, please. Last take, please. H from UK, are you there?
He on mute, I think.
Well, sorry. No, this is my first time on your channel, and it seems like a lot of logical takes. So that's up to everyone, man. Hope your channel grows, man. And shout out to Lamont, shout out to Sturdy as usual, man.
All right, appreciate you, H. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. All right, FYF Lamont. FYF Sports Debates goes live periodically. He doesn't have a standard time, but when he goes live, it's serious. If you really want to debate and talk basketball, you really want to talk, he's gonna bring up film. He's gonna bring up whatever you want. And he's going to call you out if you don't know what you're talking about. That's why I love it over there. So, Lamont, any last words on the discussion? You already said Jordan's overrated, but any last words?
Hey, just tell Jordan fans he still has a strong GOAT case without the defense. The defense. He still can be the GOAT without the defense. He don't got to have it all. Like I said, they try to combine him and turn him into a Marvel superhero like Thanos with all the stones. That's just ain't one of the stones he got. He don't got the defensive stone. The NBA tried to give it to him. They gave him a fake stone, but we got to take that one away, man. He not a defender, man.
There's only one Thanos in GOAT James Kingdom, and that's Wilt Chamberlain. Okay, that's it. That's the only one. He's the only one.
Not Thanos. Not Thanos. That's crazy.
Should be Bill Russell.
Bill Russell is Captain America because he has all the Avengers and stuff. He's Captain
Hell
America.
nah. Will Chamberlain will get your ass. I'm not doing that.
Yo, that's good.
Hey, Ralph gonna say 30 and 30. I know what he gonna say when it comes to Bill Russell.
Nah, man, I've been seeing some clips lately on TikTok how Bill Russell was getting cooked by Will Chamberlain. Badly.
Badly. Go ahead, Ralph. You wanted to ask something, Ralph. You said you had to ask somebody something.
Yeah, yo, Sturdy. Who's your top 5 point guards?
Oh, thank you for asking, brother Ralph.
John Stockton, John Stockton.
No, actually, I'm gonna refer to my brother Lamont on this one, and it's one of his .5 all-time great 5 lists. It is.
This ain't none of mine. This ain't none.
Hey Johnny.
I don't co-sign this.
I will send you the link to my source. Okay, it is Magic Johnson. It is Magic Johnson, Oscar Robertson, Jerry West, Steph Curry. And I go back and forth between Isaiah Thomas and Jason Kidd. That's my
Magic
top 5.
I can see why you're going back and forth. I can see you going back and forth with Jason Kidd and Isaiah Thomas. That is actually a good conversation.
That is a great conversation, Ralph.
That's a great
conversation. What's wrong? Hey, Johnny, what's wrong with Steph Curry? He's a point guard.
Listen,
hey, Johnny, what's wrong with that?
Didn't Russell Westbrook just show us that him and LeBron are the only ones with 25,000, 9,000, and 8,000?
Russ should be in everybody's top 5.
Russell's
above John. Hey, Johnny. If Russell get a ring, hey man, he's gonna be above John Stockton. I can't negate this brother no longer.
Oh
I just can't.
That's it, Sturdy. You need to go home. It's a done show. You're thinking too much blasphemy. John Stockton is no. Oh my God. All right, y'all. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we are the GOAT James Kingdom platform. Thank you for joining us again. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Don't be afraid to become a member of the channel. As you see, Brandon and I bring the content like none other. So we'll be back next week with another episode. Catch us throughout the week as we will be giving you guys our GJK quick takes for any hot takes that happen and breaking news during the NBA season. It's been a great time talking to you guys. Thank you guys for joining us. Next week's show, it will be a special Super Bowl Sunday show as Brandon and I will go at each other because he is a Chiefs Mahomes fan. I am a Brock Purdy Niners fan. So
that's nice.
We're going to have look at John. King John. Look at all these. Boo! Get out of here with this Mahomes.
I would like
Dad bods. These guys got dad bods. These both guys got dad bods.
Lakers got lucky last night. That's all I gotta say.
Well, you know what? We saw some real on-ball defense. Anyway. Yeah, we saw some great on-ball defense on LeBron, on your boy Brunson, shutting him down.
That was a double team. That was a double team. Because you gotta look at the beginning, at that first half, and like part of that third, Brunson was cooking. And then they started blitzing him, throwing those double teams. We didn't have nobody else to score the ball after Brunson like that.
That's not what my eye test said. That's not what my eye test said.
It was a fact.
Make sure
Randall was out and OG was out. If both of them if one of them would have played, it would have been the difference.
OG's definitely a big difference maker. Shout out to the New York Knicks, man. You finally broke that record, though. I'm glad that the Lakers did it. Thank you, Lakers. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Damn, the Lakers can't get no credible win. They could beat the Boston Celtics without LeBron and AD. Now they can't even get the credit for the win of the Knicks.
Hell no, we're not giving credit.
Yeah.
Tournament don't count either.
All right, so we're gonna get up out of here, man. You guys have a great day, and like I always tell y'all, this is GOAT James Kingdom. Peace and blessings, y'all. Y'all have a great Sunday.
Everybody have a good one.
All right,
I might go live.